Welcome to the right side. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP.
She did that.
I did it.
She done did it.
We done did it. Hey, y'all. How are you? What's good? You may have seen our news today. And it's exciting news. It's a quick turnaround bit of news. But it's news that we are thrilled to share with you. And we look forward to everybody meeting back up. Obviously, we're here today and tomorrow. But Allison Sinclair?
Oh, wait. Do we want to lead into it?
Yeah.
How was y'all's night?
You're going to make them wait?
Pause. Hold. Do we want to talk about the fact that Scrubs came back on? A remake of Scrubs?
Y'all just left everybody hanging.
Okay.
She loves it when we do that.
You got a radio theater into it.
Radio theater. You may have seen the news. Pause.
But you're doing it again.
Hold on. Just pause. Okay. All right. Breathe. Pause. Everybody. Deep breath. Cleansing breath. Okay. Listen. We have news. We're excited about this news. We've been waiting to tell you about this. And yeah, there's other news today. We're going to get to that. There's some really big news out there, both in Alabama and nationally and internationally. Huge. We're going to take a plunge today, like always on Thinker Thursday. We have some options for the plunge that JP and Allison are going to vote on. But before any of that, let's just sit back down at the table and discuss the news. Who'd like to go first?
Should we have this music as we do it?
No, we need the
we need happy music.
Pew, 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 pew.
Okay, that news. Okay.
In case you missed the press release, yes, we have a press release.
I know.
I mean, only important people have press releases.
Yeah.
Which, did it go to the press?
We don't know.
Or did it just go to the socials?
I think we are the press now.
I think it technically went to the press.
Are we media?
Yeah, Allison.
Well, I think so, yeah.
Allison, this is rolling into, yes. Yes, my dear friend.
So we are, as of today, officially partnering with Yellowhammer News.
Again, JP.
We could not be more excited. It is one of the most genius partnerships I think I've ever come across
in the history of partnerships ever.
And it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited. Now, it does change a few things. Not us, though. Not this show, not the content, what else? No,
not who we are.
Not who we are.
Nothing is going to change as far as that. Nothing.
But we are moving times. We are moving places.
Yes.
Well, no. The studio will look the same.
Yes.
But
all here.
Today and tomorrow will be our Don't Cry, JP.
He's a man.
I know this is tough.
He's not going to cry.
But today and tomorrow will be our last days on WVNN in Huntsville. Do you need a moment?
End of an era.
I think it deserves some recognition and maybe a brief pause.
A big pause.
And a huge thank you to Dale Jackson, John Lewis, Phil Williams, everybody that raised you, JP.
Yeah.
Grew you into the man that the Right Side, formerly known as Rightside Radio, has now become. So if you want to take a moment and just express your gratitude.
2 years and a month straight, I've been on WVNN. So it is an end of an era. But yeah, I'm very appreciative of all of the WVNN audience. But the good news is they can follow us over to where we're streaming already. So it's not a goodbye to the WVNN listeners. It's a come with us.
It's
from the WVNN
I love
listeners.
It. Come with us.
Right.
Love it.
So it will be a straight digital show from here on out, but we'll continue streaming on our platforms like normal. we're just going to be adding Yellowhammer's platforms on top of that. So Yellowhammer's Facebook, Twitter, everywhere you can find Yellowhammer, we'll be streaming the show on there as well. And the only other thing that changes is the time. We'll be doing the show from 10 to 12 in the morning now, instead of 2 to 5. But
it's actually perfect though, because 10 to 12, if you can still listen to us, if you're driving home or if you're in carpool, you just pull us up as a podcast, a replay on Spotify or wherever you want to, Facebook. You can re-listen, or you can listen live on your lunch break. But we will be 10 to 12 every day. And actually, you will get the same amount of content in a shorter amount of time.
Sure.
Who
because we
doesn't
won't
love
have all
that?
the breaks.
That's right.
Which my husband is very excited about.
Mine
The
too.
breaks drive him insane.
Oh,
All of our social media is staying Rightside Media, correct?
That is correct.
X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. But from here on, the show will be referred to as the Rightside.
I
And
actually love that.
I love it too. And you might have heard both of us refer to it this week as the right side. It was just kind of the subliminal messaging to get you ready for this magnificent news. And we are excited, and we know we will see you on Monday from 10 to 12 as usual, live streaming, or like our husbands always listen to us, or almost always listen to us as a podcast. But my mother-in-law said, hey, there's no nap time from 10 to 12, So for the women who are working from home, working at home, men who are working from home, it's the perfect time of day. And we look forward to seeing you there. But I too would like to thank WVNN and John Lewis and Dale Jackson and all the good people there for the opportunity to be here. But please know that every step along the way, we have fervently prayed for what is next. When we started our journey as, okay, Lord, what's next for us, as we were encouraged to make a change, then Phil Williams came our way. That was a God thing. And then the Yellowhammer partnership came our way. And then the Let's Go Digital, which we all thought was probably where we would be headed. But the Lord was like, nope, you're doing this now. And so at every step of the way, out of his abundant provision, this is where we've ended up. And we are thrilled for what's to come, but deeply grateful for what has been built and for the shoulders that we stand on. And we are thankful for you. We hope and pray that you will join us and text like always, share your thoughts like always. We look forward to interacting with you as we live stream and are able to interact socially, which is going to be great. And there will be much more to come. And we're thrilled, and we couldn't wait to tell you about it today. And yeah, the turnaround is quick, but it's kind of like you and I both know you binge a show. And you binge it because you don't want to wait, do you? You don't want to wait for the whole season anymore because we've been conditioned to binge. We're basically your new bingeable show. And we're just going from a change on Friday to a change on Monday. That's it. And then here we are. Ta-da.
It's going to be really fun. We have new logo, new colors,
Boy,
new branding. We're going to have some merch coming out. And until then, if you haven't seen the press release, we have a press release. You can go to yellowhammer.com and you can read it there. You can go to all of our socials and read it. It has a little bit more information about the show, some quotes from us, some quotes from Yellowhammer, and kind of how we got here. So we have loved getting to know you, Huntsville audience. Y'all, I'm guessing you weren't very sure about us at first. Oh, look at that.
She's real pretty.
She's so pretty.
Let's have a moment.
If you're listening,
Yellowhammer
you
crew.
can't see JP just put up our new logo. Very pretty. But we hope you will come alongside us and that we will make new friends across the state. It really is going to be incredible. I mean, Yellowhammer has a huge audience and their numbers are insane. This is going to give us so much exposure and influence in the state. And I really don't think you want to miss out. So tomorrow we'll be back here 2 to 5, Monday 10 to 12, or whenever you fancy.
Yeah, just in your pocket. Take us with it.
Yeah.
Take us with you. This is going to be great. Listen, and then we'll change our state to be what we want it to be, which is exciting. That's why we're here. Seek the truth and get after it.
It's pretty much that simple. JP, any parting thoughts?
I think we pretty much said it.
You good?
Okay.
Hey, thank you for the cupcakes. JP brought us cupcakes today. So they're red and blue for the Rightside new logo. And then there's some yellow for the yellow hammer. Look at you.
Perfect.
You've been hanging out with like menopausal women for too long.
Why
I'm
did you
impressed.
say that?
You're bringing color-coded, coordinating.
So impressed with you.
cupcakes.
Hey, JP is will take applications for JP's future wife, but just please understand this sharp, really talented man brought beautiful cupcakes and balloons.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, you can't see the heat. So
We will take the applications because we're very picky.
for
our friend JP.
vetting process.
There's a chain of command.
There is a chain of command.
It involves JP's dad's mental evaluation.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to be willing to take the test we all took.
Take my
This
dad's
is not a joke.
take my dad's test, interview with you two, and then you'll get a date. We'll
Maybe.
see.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Because she can be super hot, but she doesn't meet the standard. And
Hot wears off real fast.
yeah.
Yeah. JP agrees. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. We will be back with our normal, typical show full of fun and adventure and news. Y'all, there's some allegedly news that I have to share.
Woo.
Allegedly. That's our gossip column, but that we have to add allegedly in the front of. We'll be back.
Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair. And we are joined by Admiral Brian Christine, who is the Assistant Secretary for Health at HHS. And it is a thrill and it is an honor, sir, to have you here. Thank you.
Oh, it's a privilege to be here. It is so fun to have come back home to Sweet Home, Alabama, to come see my family and to do this, to work with y'all, to do this podcast, to help get the messaging out that we need to, so the American people know the good things that we're doing in Washington, the good things that Secretary Kennedy and President Trump are doing. And so as we start off, I have to give a shout out, obviously, to our president and to Secretary Kennedy, because they are working so hard to make this country healthier than she's ever been, to make Americans stronger than we've ever been, to make America great again. So thanks for the opportunity.
So before we jump into those values issues and talking about making our country healthy again, which is such a relief, could you tell those who may not know you or have heard about you, because you are a legend, a little bit about your background?
Sure.
As we jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born, my father was in the Army. I was born in what used to be West Germany. Now, if you're old enough like me, you remember that one time there was an East and a West Germany during the Cold War. My father was a tanker. In other words, he was in armor in the Army, tanks. And we had a lot of armor assets deployed along the East-West border during that time. I was born in 1963, really the height of the Cold War. So I was born in West Germany. My father ultimately went Special Forces. In his second tour of Vietnam, he was really severely injured, lost an arm and a leg, got out of the military. We ultimately settled in Augusta, Georgia, had some family there. I went to medical school at Emory in Atlanta, and then I came over to UAB for my residency. And that's how I got to Birmingham. I did my residency in urologic surgery, completed my residency, and then I joined a urology group here in Birmingham. And I practiced with that group for 24, 25 years, really subspecializing in men's health. That was kind of my gig. Then I got the call for the nomination to be the Assistant Secretary for Health from President Trump. Went through the confirmation process. Ultimately was confirmed by the Senate. I was confirmed into this position last November. And here you are. So now I'm in Washington as the Assistant Secretary for Health.
Were you expecting that call? I mean, how does this happen?
Yeah,
you're just
that's a great
Brian
question.
Christine in Birmingham, Alabama, and you get a call that you're the next Rachel Levine. What's her boy name?
Richard.
Richard Levine. Richard Levine. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes, I am President Trump upgrade from Richard Levine.
We would say
there
so.
We're very grateful for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I really think, listen, I think one of the reasons that President Trump nominated me and that Secretary Kennedy wanted me in the position is because I practiced medicine on the front lines. I was kind of a Main Street doctor. And I think they liked the idea of having someone who really understood medical care and delivery from a Main Street level. I think personally, I think also one of the reasons that President Trump wanted me in this position, because there's really not another visual that shows the difference between the horrible Biden administration and the really righteous and good Trump administration, and the fact that you have me in the same position as Levine. I'm a man who wears men's clothing, and that really says all you need to know about the last administration and this administration. For sure.
I always thought he could have done a better job, like zhuzhing it up a little bit. Like it was like he put on some earrings and a dress, and that was it. Like, but we can work a little harder. But I think America, the juxtaposition is overwhelming from what y'all are doing versus what he was doing.
Well, no, exactly. When you look at Levine, I mean, again, his agenda was no question about it. The transgender and minors agenda was so important for him. All he wanted to do was to tell little boys they could be little girls, little girls they could be little boys, and then recommend castrating surgeries, castrating chemicals, hormones, and do irreversible harm to these kids. So if you go back and look at what he talked about, mostly that was it. I mean, Levine advocated for removing any kind of age restriction on transgender treatment in kids. He advocated for those sex-rejecting surgeries. That's what we call them. People say transgender surgery. No, in this administration, we talk about sex-rejecting surgeries and procedures because that's what they are. And that was his big focus, right? I personally believe he was in that position as a statement. I personally believe he was in that position to be an eyepiece, not because he really cared about the health of the country. So I'm really happy to be in this position to be able to reverse and to right so many of the wrongs that the last administration and Levine, perpetrated on the country.
So in this position, you're able to do a lot of good. Could you talk to us about your roles and responsibilities?
Sure. As the Assistant Secretary for Health, you have kind of a three-level role. One is to help form healthcare policy, to work across the different divisions of the Department of Health and Human Services, to work with the CDC and
Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So we have a great montage for you today, along with several stories. I'm pretty sure on our stack of stuff, as the great Rush Limbaugh used to say, we're going to run out of time before we run out of what we need to talk about. So without further ado, though. Further. Man, I thought you were not going to hear that. I thought it was just going to skip over your earbobs.
I'm sorry. It just makes me giggle, and I'm so glad when other people do it besides myself. Lindsey Graham.
To a buffet?
Oh. Did you do the Lindsey Graham reel?
Yeah, it's going on tonight.
Okay.
Y'all have to log on to our socials to see this one.
I can't wait. JP.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Time for news.
And we will get on it, and we will have a vote on the SAVE Act. The context of that, the process in which we consider it is still an open question, but one that we're having conversations about.
Yes. You have been hanging around the Senate button. Come on.
Is it baby dog?
There he is.
President and CEO of the World Economic Forum, Jorge Brande, said he was stepping down on Thursday after the forum launched an independent investigation into his relationship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
And as a father to 3 young children, and as a physician who took an oath to do no harm, I failed to speak up. And I just want to thank President Trump for having more clarity on this, and our society finally came out strongly against this. So, like you mentioned, training, You're at the #1 plastic surgery program. You're just grateful to be there. There's no room to speak up.
Right.
You're a soldier.
Because if you left, you wouldn't get your degree. You wouldn't become a doctor.
Yeah, you work so hard to get there. You don't want to make waves.
What do you think would happen if we went into a Muslim bakery and asked for a gay wedding cake? No need to wonder, we did it for you. But everyone keeps sending me somewhere else. They said this is what you do here.
No, I don't want it.
Oh, I don't. Okay, well, let's even say no picture, but you can write on it, Ben loves Stephen forever, and have our hands maybe holding.
No.
If America were to get in a war with a country like Iraq, who would you guys defend, America or Iraq?
We won't get in a war. That's not permissible for us. But at the same time,
who would you defend first?
We would support our brothers in Iraq. That's the only way.
So you wouldn't defend America?
We would not defend America.
I'm glad to know where things stand.
On the plastic surgeon that was speaking, I don't think it said what he was saying he has remorse for not speaking up about. Did it say it on there?
No, not really.
Gender transition surgeries, right?
Yeah. I just wanted, because it wasn't very clear, but he is basically saying we took an oath and we didn't speak up, and we should have, because this gender transition surgeries are a bunch of beep, and they're starting to realize it.
It's brave of him to speak up.
You could tell he was nervous.
I mean, really nervous, because he's right. There is no room. You are a soldier. You go put your head down. My husband called it his dark place for 6 years of training, because you're just doing your best to get through medical school. And then you have to go train. And then you have to make sure you do such a good job in training part #1 for 3 years that you are able to get a job for training part #2 for whatever your subspecialty is going to be. And so there's no space for that. There's no space if the NIH, the CDC sends information, this is what we're going to do, this is what you do. Then you're a member of the American Academy of Pediatrics or the College of Physicians or Surgeons or whatever it is, you're a part of that. There's one line of thought and you do that. So there's got to be room for freedom of thought among physicians, and there really isn't.
Because of fear of retribution, or you'll be kicked out of medical school, or
so the medical school spots,
job.
The medical school spots are hard to get now. Remember we covered that story a couple months back about who those spots are going to, or the residency program spots or the fellowship programs. They're going to foreigners. So there's that. There's also, you're just trying to keep your head above water and make it to the next phase. And so it's an onion. And the more you peel, the more you go, ooh. Then there's the DEI policies that in some medical schools, in some training programs, like that's your Bible. Yeah. So there's a lot of layers to that. It was very brave of this physician the surgeon to speak out and admit I was wrong. And I hope there's more of that.
But how often have we said throughout the years that we've been doing this together that courage begets courage?
Amen.
And so you see the American Plastic Surgeons Association and all these associations, Vanderbilt, changing their tune, that they're not even doing surgeries on adults anymore. And it just leads down this road, but somebody has to stand up first.
That's right.
So good for him. Went on national news by himself. That takes some gumballs.
Yeah, it does.
We'll be back.
FDA and work with HHS leadership to help form healthcare policy. So we help form the policy. We help implement that policy. There's also a communication role, which really appeals to me, in that we help to communicate the policy to healthcare establishments, healthcare providers, and to the country at large. Okay. The Surgeon General falls under the Assistant Secretary for Health. So when we have our new Surgeon General in, and I'm happy to say that Dr. Casey Means will be having her hearing before the Senate on the 25th of this month, I believe. She'll be an amazing Surgeon General. We're going to work so well together. But together we'll be advancing the message of the Department of Health and Human Services and President Trump to the American people. So there's that communication aspect to the role. And then also, the Assistant Secretary for Health can serve as a civilian, or they can do as I did, which is request commission from the president. So I have been commissioned as the senior admiral at the Public Health Service, specifically the Commission Corps. So you have the U.S. Public Health Service, and then you have something called the Commission Corps, and these are commissioned officers. I'm a 4-star admiral. I lead the Commission Corps, and so one of the other roles I have is as a flag officer and admiral is to lead the Commission Corps of the Public Health Service, and that's about 5,400 doctors, nurses, pharmacists, therapists. Believe it or not, we've got a few veterinarians in there as well, dentists, dermatologists. We are Secretary Kennedy's tip of the spear strike force for public health initiatives. And it's really a privilege to wear this uniform. It's a privilege to receive the salutes that I receive from other members of other uniformed services and my own officers. To wear this uniform is a privilege, but that's a big part of what I do, is to lead the Commission Corps, because we really are the edge of the knife, the tip of the spear for public health in the United States. And I have officers deployed other parts of the world as well, primarily in the U.S. We work at Guantanamo Bay, for instance. We work with ICE agencies. We work with DHS. We supply doctors and nurses to the Indian Health Service, which is a big role. We have officers that work at FDA, work at CDC. They're out in community health centers. So we're all over the place, but that's part of my role as well.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
I had no idea.
It's a lot of people. And these officers, these are good men and women. These are good men and women who want to serve, who care about this country. And one of the things I have been told by officer after officer is they said, we are so happy that we have a new Assistant Secretary for Health. We're demoralized by our prior Assistant Secretary because we knew he didn't really care about us. He put the uniform on as a political stunt. Brian, you wear the uniform because you care about the country and you want to serve the President and the Secretary.
So going into this role, like, you're just kind of starting. If now, and hopefully we'll do an interview as you're leaving and we can reassess, but give us your top 3, like, these are the things that I definitely want to get done while I'm here. What would those be?
Yeah, and so my agenda is, of course, Secretary Kennedy's agenda and the President's agenda. We all work for the President. He's the Commander-in-Chief. I work with Secretary Kennedy as we both serve the President and serve the people. And so the things that are really important to us at the Department of Health and Human Services, we know that affordability of health care, affordability of drugs, making sure we have good health care delivered to everybody, whether it be in a city or in these rural environments, that is something incredibly important to the President and the Secretary and myself. Also, we have our values issues. In other words, and we can talk about this, right to life issues, respect for the dignity of every man, woman, and child in this country. That's incredibly important to us. Taking care of men, taking care of women, that's important. So affordability, these values issues, and doing everything so different from the last administration and the last Department of Health and Human Services. We absolutely are guided by science. That's something that Secretary Kennedy has said again and again. We are guided by gold standard science, and we use that science to form policy and to do things that are going to make America healthier than she's ever been.
Okay, but Dr. Fauci says he is science. So are we Dr. Fauci science, or are we, like, how do you...
Are we science?
We are science. We are science. Listen, people can think what they want about Dr. Fauci. I prefer not to think about Dr. Fauci. I don't have much regard or respect for that individual. But who I do have regard and respect for are RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Bhattacharya, who...
Welcome back to The Right Side. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. And so there's more to discuss, obviously, guys. So are we going to dip into the World Economic Forum CEO, or are we going to discuss the young men who probably are in Michigan talking about that they would support Iraq over the U.S., or the bakery, or the SAVE Act, and we don't know if we can pass it, we're having a hard time, and the dog parade? What? That just takes it all.
That was Jim Justice's baby dog in the front little stroller thing.
Yeah.
And that is the cutest dog. And he takes him everywhere.
Does he really?
Yes. Like in his office, on the Senate floor, takes him everywhere. But what? Like, we're at a total stare down with time and the midterms. We can't seem to do anything besides pass the one big beautiful bill but we have time for a dog parade through the Senate heart-building halls. Like, cute, but come on.
Okay, it would be bad either way, but I think what makes it worse is the guy with the megaphone, Tom Tillis, came out today. He's one of the no's right now.
Thom is a no.
Tom with an H.
Yeah. So this is Eric Did you say his name? Daugherty?
Daughtry.
Daughtry. At least 4 Republicans are a no or are leaning no on a talking filibuster to pass the Save America Act with 50+1 votes per punch bowl. Tom Tillis is a no unless he sees a, quote, clear plan to pass the bill without nuking the filibuster. John Curtis warned that if this process upended a Democrat amendment spree, he wouldn't vote to table their amendments if it means, quote, changing the Senate rules. And then says, obviously, other problematic senators, Mitch McConnell and Lisa Murkowski. But yeah, Tom Tillis, the one who is like in the middle of the pet parade, is a no right now on the Save America Act.
All right.
I mean, okay, let's cut him some slack.
I can't wait to hear this.
All the insider trading and the expensive dinners in DC and the trips on the private planes, it's really tiring. And they need fun. They need a break. I mean, Baby Dog's stroller had Mardi Gras, not beads, but what are they called? Streamers hanging off of it. Like, just give them a little bit of fun, Abs, because it's very stressful. We haven't passed a bill in like a year and a half, and I'm tired.
I also, I really think it's so hard to get a front row parking space no matter where we go. And, have people waiting on us no matter where we go. And then all the dogs, I got to thinking about the dogs. And I wonder, after the dogs pooped, the senators were not the ones who were going to pick up the poop. Their people were. It's so hard to be them. And then probably they went to the Capitol Hill Club and they had dinner.
Oh, the
and
senators don't hang out there.
Oh, where do they go? Because they're better. So they just go to the Senate Fussy Club.
Yeah, that's just where the lowly house goes.
Oh, and so and it's hard to be them. And then they went to work out at the gym after that. And they're too busy, because this is how Lisa Murkowski talks. It's just like this. And it's really, I hate it. It's hurts my ears. You're right. It's hard to be them. It's hard to be them. Pampered, cared for, loved on by millions. I'm just kidding. They're only they're not loved on by that many people because they keep not doing what's right. That's right, Sinclair.
Okay, so I think you should just let him have some fun. In the meantime, don't hate on me, okay? We listen and we don't judge, right?
Why did we ever invent that phrase? What are we listening and not judging?
It was
about?
you, Abs.
I know. I was hoping you'd forget that too. Kind of like you'd overlook my foible earlier.
Your what? Oh,
I mumbled up that word.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, we listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't
All
judge.
right.
Here's the thing.
All right.
Up until this very moment in time, well, maybe rewind 2 months ago, I would have said nuking the filibuster was a terrible idea. I mean, it's just there has to be some checks and balances and some ways that the minority can stop legislation and at least have a voice. But what this filibuster is not really a filibuster. Like, if you're going to filibuster, you should have a little bit of pain doing it.
You got to physically filibuster.
You got to physically read Dr. Seuss. Well, no, Dr. Seuss was canceled. We can't canceled.
Canceled.
Okay, Abs. Yes, you raise your hand. What do you have?
I bet everybody knows what a filibuster is, but just in case, guys, when we say filibuster, how would we define a filibuster?
Wasting time.
Bust Phil.
Duh. How would you define it again, JP?
Wasting time, obstructing, tangibly, though, I mean, the old school way of filibustering was literally, so it's a debate on a bill, and to break cloture from that, you have to get 60 votes. And the old school way of doing it was literally just standing there and filibustering and blah 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 blah, blah to waste
Like you
time.
read the phone book.
Yeah, like what Cory Booker did last year, where he set the record at like 20 something hours. Yeah.
And then, what do you mean when you use the word cloture?
Cloture, it's like bringing it close to the debate. So to move past the debate to go and actually vote on the bill, you need 60 votes.
Well, it's like exactly
Mhm.
your children filibuster at bedtime.
And what is this zombie filibuster they refer to?
Isn't that where they don't have to actually be there to filibuster?
That's my understanding.
essentially.
Yes, you just say I would like to filibuster, and then you go do your insider trading in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just go to your office, shut the door.
Yeah, you don't even have to think about it. And so that's what's happening right now is they can't bring the SAVE Act to a vote because now you'd have to have 60, right? It's a 60 vote threshold that you have to get to pass it, which will never happen because there's no way you're getting 9 plus, 10 Dems, all the Republicans. We still have 4. So you're looking at 14 more votes to pass this. And the thing is, I fear that this whole thing is just an act. Like John Thune standing up there saying, we're going to bring it to the floor for a vote no matter what. You know, we're working on this. We're not. Okay. Well, you can take it. You can fulfill that promise and take it to the floor for a vote. And then when it doesn't pass, you can be like, I tried. But if you don't get rid of this filibuster, we're stuck in all kinds of legislation. So maybe, yes, get rid of the zombie filibuster, keep the traditional non-zombie-ish. What's the opposite of a zombie?
Like real.
Like the human being.
Yeah. Just a
filibuster. The
old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned, yeah.
Yeah, just old-fashioned, old school, because that's what the Senate is known for. But just, thank you for the definitions. Just a refresher course.
No, it's
so
good.
that we can wow our friends at parties with things like filibuster, zombie filibuster, and cloture.
Cloture.
Yeah.
What do you think of when you hear cloture? I picture
what? Oh my word.
This is an insight. It's insight into my brain. I picture all the senators running around in capes.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But
we have to break cloture.
Yes, and they have capes and they do like Dracula. And then they go to the cloakroom.
Yeah.
And
we're going to the cloakroom to discuss the
caucus.
cloture.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's a good one.
So
I like it.
I actually would disagree a little bit with the checks and balances part of it, because the filibuster is not even actually a part of the Constitution or anything requiring, like, there's no requirement to actually do it. It's just it's traditional. It's, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, like just kind of an unsaid agreement that's a thing. But I don't think, like, the common claim is, well, what if the Democrats are in power and we nuke the filibuster? And look, think about all the stuff in the Biden administration that didn't get passed through because of the filibuster. That mindset is why Republicans always lose, because I'm going to go on a hunch because of how angry the Democrats are right now at the Trump administration. God forbid they ever come back in power, that filibuster is getting nuked as soon as possible.
Yes.
And they are going to destroy us. And then our principled, well, they're going to do it anyway. So, like, have the winning mindset. Instead of playing not to lose, play to win.
I love that. Say that again. Brilliant.
Instead of playing not to lose, play to win. Because this is not minor thing. Like, this is important to pass before the midterms with having election integrity. And I'm just so sick of the mindset of, but the Democrats, they're so focused on them. They're not focused on winning. So I don't know. I would love to not have to nuke the filibuster. I would love to have enough of a majority to where we don't have to worry about the squishy Republicans and we can just do it without having to get rid of it. But that's not how it is. So let's smell the roses and realize getting this passed is more important than, but if the Dems, like, just, I'm so sick of the but if the Democrats.
Yeah. Agree.
I think it's kind of like closed versus open primaries. There are pros and cons to each, and you have to be aware if you do nuke the zombie filibuster or however they want to do it, there are potential pitfalls for that. But I think we're at the point for the closed primaries and the filibuster. Who gives a rip? You do it. Like, gloves are off. We are fighting to the death at this point, and you better do everything you can to win.
That's right.
Or you're going to die.
Yep.
That's my positive,
so
uplifting
simple.
message for the day.
Can't you just feel the happiness
Yeah.
off of her aura?
I wish I was kidding, though. I wish I was being dramatic, but it's exactly what both of y'all are saying. Like, it is time to go all in. No more dog parades. Just do whatever you have to do at this point. Because
it's not hard.
Yeah, as long as it's legal. And y'all don't really seem to care that much about it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the caveat to that. If Democrats benefit so much from unsecure elections like they do, and the worry of nuking the filibuster is Democrats getting back in power, well, passing the Save America Act would help the Democrats not getting in power tremendously. So essentially, you're killing that bird with a stone that you're worried about. Like, what if the Democrats get in power? Well, the Save Act will greatly diminish that from happening.
Right.
So, yeah, I just don't think they see it through that lens.
You're thinking way too rationally, though, and you're giving the Republicans too much credit for actually being Republicans and wanting Republican conservative things. But
I apologize.
Good on you.
I'll save my thoughts.
No, that's really, I mean, you're right. Very good thinking. We will take a quick break and be right back.
Incredibly strong during the COVID pandemic. He leads the NIH, the National Institutes of Health. I have respect for Dr. Oz, Mehmet Oz, who heads up CMS, Medicare and Medicaid. He is amazingly brilliant, amazingly committed to this country. We have Marty McCary, who is out at FDA. Marty also cares deeply. We don't have a CDC director right now. The interim director is a man named Jim O'Neill. Jim is also the deputy secretary at HHS. Incredibly smart, incredibly strong, committed to life, committed to science. So those are the people I think about. I don't worry about Anthony Fauci. I don't want to think about Anthony Fauci. He did enough harm to this country. Yeah. I think about President Trump and our team now at HHS because we're doing amazing things.
You clearly are. So could we jump in then to those values issues that you've mentioned? Top of the list, right to life.
Yes.
And underneath that would be people's concern about mifepristone.
Sure.
Could you talk to us about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, I'm 62 years old, turned 62 in December. This is the most pro-life administration that I've ever seen in my 6 decades plus of life. There's no question about it. The most pro-life administration that I've ever seen. I think the administration that is friendliest to religion and faith that I've ever seen. And President Trump has demonstrated that again and again. We stand for life. We stand for the fact that we know that life begins at conception. We respect life until life's natural end. We respect the dignity of the person. We want to make sure that we stand with individuals who believe those same things, and we do. The recent March for Life, you saw that Vice President Vance address the country. The next day, there was a breakfast that was basically for all of the youth, the young men and women who'd come into this country come into the city from across the country. There was a breakfast that morning. Jim O'Neill, the deputy secretary, and myself, we addressed those students, and there were over 2,000 people there. And we talked about the fact, what we're doing for life, the fact that we know little boys are little boys and little girls are little girls, the fact that we know life begins at conception, the fact that we are doing things like, for instance, through my office, the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health, we administer the Title X funds. So let me tell you, so just recently, because of our oversight, directed by Secretary Kennedy, our oversight over Title X funds, $2.3 million of grants that had been given before us had to be returned by Planned Parenthood. $2.3 million that will no longer go to killing children, $2.3 million that will no longer go to lying to women. Because of our oversight, they gave that money back, which is a huge victory, absolutely. We make sure that we're enforcing the Hyde Amendment. President Trump, Secretary Kennedy, and myself, we are strong for this. No federal dollars are going to go toward abortion or procuring abortion services. We are strong with the Hyde Amendment, and we are making sure the Hyde Amendment is being enforced, unlike the last administration.
Yes.
We have made sure that monies, that when you have youths, children or youths, young girls who are taken in custody coming across the border or something, that federal dollars cannot go to providing abortion services, because that was going on in the last administration. Just totally disregarding the Hyde Amendment. We stand strong. That's no longer happening. So for those right to life issues, we've been incredibly strong about that, and we're very vocal about that. Again, one of the things that impresses me most about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and he's always been this way, he really realizes that God has given an inherent dignity to every man, woman, and child, and we respect that dignity.
As an adopted person, and I know as an adoptive mother, we are so thankful for those policies. And as women who've lived through the nonsense, that the lies that have been heaped upon us, that you have to kill your child to have a life.
That's right.
We're very grateful for your stand in that regard.
It's again, all of this is a privilege, but we have to do it for the country. We have to and we have to remember too that all of the wins that we have in this administration and this Department of Health and Human Services, it only takes one election cycle for things to reverse. And so we can talk about this more later, but it's incredibly important for us as conservatives, for us as people of faith, to be motivated to vote in November, to get out, support those candidates who stand with President Trump and his agenda. It's going to be more important than it's ever been. I know every election it's like, this is the most important. So I'm not going to use that hyperbole, but this is an incredibly important election in November. So I want all of the people, all of the men and women who watch this podcast, who listen to this podcast, and there are so many, I want them all to know, tell your friends, tell your families, we've got to be out there supporting candidates in congressional districts and Senate races that support the president in November.
You posted recently about gender affirming care, gender dysphoria, and kind of your work, and you just mentioned, right to life. That I would agree, that is a life issue. Were you surprised when the American Medical Association came out recently and said that gender affirming care, genital mutilation, all that should be put off till adulthood? And do you think that we're maybe turning a corner on all this?
I think that is I'm so glad you asked that question, because yes, so the American Medical Association is certainly backing away from its prior stance. It was the Academy of Plastic Surgery.
Welcome back to the Rightside. Merch coming soon. We're very excited about that. So for the rest of the show, in the 4:00 hour, we're going to take a plunge and we're going to vote on the plunge topic. I have options. In the future, my husband's going to sponsor that segment if I can get him information he'd like. So that's coming your way, babes.
Actually funny.
I mean,
the gastroenterologist is going to sponsor the plunge.
The plunge. He's actually going to have a podcast, and I think they're settling on a name, but that's going to be a super funny name, just for the record, by the way. But before we go to the 3:00 hour, there's some Alabama stories we're going to cover, and then some other national stories. We have some text, and they're from you, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts. JP.
If y'all want to text in and let us know your thoughts throughout the show, that number is 833-687-4448 or 833-68-RIGHT. Lisa from Huntsville, she says, I want to see them filibuster and start with reading The Hobbit and roll into the Lord of the Rings books. That would be glorious.
We love you, Lisa.
Okay, Lisa.
We're friends. Can we meet up?
Well, I was going to make a confession.
Do you know Lisa?
No, I want to, though, but I don't. Y'all, I have never seen or read The Lord of the Rings.
Me neither.
What?
Actually, okay, I've seen one. I've seen one movie.
Okay, listen.
Okay, this is the reaction I get from everyone, and I don't get it. I just think, my precious. And I'm like, I mean, that was cool, but I don't really want to watch it.
Okay, listen. I felt the exact same way, but I had some kids in the fam read it, and my husband, I don't know, Wesley read it, and I forget who else, but then we decided we're going to binge the movies. And I frankly, I was pouting. Okay. I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to see this. I like to read, but I really don't want to watch these. I'm going to hate it because I don't even know what you call that.
CGI
whatever it is.
with
Yeah.
hair on toes.
After about 10 minutos into the first movie of the series, I was hooked. And we watched it 1 week, like every movie in a row. You guys, the depth of Tolkien's writing, the thought, the good, the evil, the journey. Watch it.
Okay.
Just try one. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. I was shocked at how profound
Let's do it together.
that
JP.
story was.
Okay, we can do it together.
Well, and then we'll have well, I won't read it, y'all. I've tried to read a book. By the way,
Yes, ma'am.
Abs, you gave me John Grisham's The Widow,
Yeah.
and I got to chapter 2 and I was so excited about it.
Yeah. What happened?
The puppy ate the book.
The dead puppy or the new one?
She said that so flippantly.
That was so
I didn't mean to be mean. I'm so sorry.
casual.
Yeah. It's, oh, the dead one? Or
It was so
I'm so sorry.
casual.
that was funny.
Okay. The new one, the one that's still
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
the one that's still alive ate it. I just got your replacement in the mail from Amazon, so I'm
You
going to
didn't
finish
have
it.
to get a replacement.
Yes, I did because I want to finish the book. But anyway, my point is not about the dead dog.
In all fairness, I don't think that they had the dog long enough for it to eat.
Yeah, clearly it did because it ate the ground. It ate the
I'm sorry.
ground.
No, it's in a box in my closet. We had him cremated.
Allison,
Wait, can I tell y'all?
do it.
I mean, we got about
Don't think
45
about it. Just
seconds.
tell
left
us.
anyway.
All right. Circle of trust.
All
And we're not
We
changing.
listen and we don't judge.
I need help with this. This
All right.
is a problem.
All right.
My mom passed away in 2020 in February, right before COVID hit.
Is she still in your closet?
Yes, and the dog is on top of her.
Oh.
And I don't know what to do with Nana.
You gotta.
I really don't. And every time I go to get dog food, I look at her little box. Oh, and then the dog box too.
Well, at least you have your mom near you.
Yeah, but like
I mean,
she's in the closet.
both of my grandparents are in like those. What do you call it?
Urn?
Well, yeah, they're in an urn, but their church has
They're
like
in a Ziploc bag.
like a wall where you take off the tile and put the urns in, and it's got their names. It's
Oh,
like
a mausoleum?
whatever.
Yeah.
But for
you gotta find
urns?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I need to look. She loved the Dollar Tree, and don't think I haven't thought about just putting her in my pocket and sprinkling.
I'd love to be part of that.
And then I could go to TJ Maxx and do the same thing.
I'm in. Say less. We'll go together. I'll
Nana
support
would
you in
love
your time
that.
of need.
She would love it. I need your help. I don't even know how we got here. We'll be back.
The right name.
Oh, yeah.
The Academy of Plastic Surgeons that said, and this is landmark, they said just this past week that we recommend that we don't do those mutilating surgeries, what we call the sex-rejecting surgeries on anybody under the age of 19. That is huge.
Mm-hmm.
That is huge. And I think we are turning this corner. We can never take our foot off the accelerator because I like to say that gender theory is like a vampire. It'll come back. You may think you've killed it, but it'll come back in the next hostile administration. So we always have to keep our foot on the accelerator for this, and we are, and I am, and President Trump certainly is. But yeah, I hope that we've turned a corner. I really do. This really started with, again, science. So we released at HHS, we released something called the Gender Dysphoria Report, and that was back in the fall. We released this report that basically looked at all the science, and we said, no, the wrong way to treat these children is to perform castrating surgeries. The wrong way to treat these children is to use sex-rejecting chemicals and hormones. The right way to treat these children is with compassionate, competent mental health care. Now, personally, as a person of faith, I personally believe that if the child's parents want this, I think pastoral care is incredibly important to support these kids, right? But we initiated that report. The report was released, and then we did something even more. We had what was called the peer review of that report. So we invited scientists not all of whom were aligned with us to say, review this report. Tell us what you think. Put your politics aside, go by the science. And they had to say, you're right. The science backs up exactly what you're saying about this. So I think things like we're seeing with the plastic surgeons, things like hopefully we're going to be seeing more with the AMA, really the shot across the bow was the gender dysphoria report. Because, again, Secretary Kennedy has always said, we use gold standard science to guide our decisions. That's gold standard science. Those kind of things, sex-rejecting surgeries, horrible chemicals and mutilations, that's not the way to treat these kids. I am not going to take my foot off the accelerator on this because, like I said, it is a vampire. If we don't stake it through the heart and if we don't kill this whole gender theory, it's going to come back in the next hostile administration. No question about it. So we're doing great things with that. And that, as far as values, very important to the president, very important to the vice president, very important to Secretary Kennedy and myself.
Can I ask a follow-up question real quick?
Yeah.
Don't forget what you were about to say.
Okay.
So RFK's ideas, like inverting the food pyramid, are seen as kind of controversial. Some of his suggestions on treatments and things like that. To me, there's more science behind what he's saying than what we've been told for all these years. Yeah. I think now, especially after COVID, we're seeing, wait a second, have we been lied to? You're all changing the vaccine schedule for childhood vaccines is huge. But how do you balance that? And do you see much pushback? Because you're saying gold standard science, but a lot of it, people are like, this is new to them.
Well, you know, science is dynamic.
Right.
It's not static. Science changes over time. I'm a physician. I'm a surgeon. I'm a scientist. The way I do things, and I've closed my practice to be in this job, but the way I did things, for instance, in 2025 when I was still practicing, were very different than I was trained 20 years earlier or even 10 years earlier because science is dynamic and changes. And that's what Secretary Kennedy has said. What he has said is we always follow the science, but we have to be nimble enough and we have to be honest enough to say that if the science leads us in a different direction than it has in the past, that we are brave enough and we care enough about this country to make those changes. And that's exactly what you're seeing. You know, you mentioned about the vaccines. I mean, let me be very clear about this. And this, I'm glad you brought this up, Allison, because this is very important. Secretary Kennedy has not taken a vaccine away from anyone. Despite what the lying left will tell you, he has not taken a vaccine away from anyone. Now, what he has said is that we want people to decide what's right for themselves. Yes. We want parents to decide what's right for their kids. We want to put knowledge in their hands so they can make the best decision for them. He has not taken a vaccine away from anyone or anybody. Vaccines are still available. We did look at the recommendations, what the vaccine, the child vaccine schedule should be. And it wasn't just this was willy-nilly. No, what happened is the president said, we need to look at this. And so what did we do? We went and we compared the vaccine schedule for children for other countries, other peer countries, countries like ourselves, advanced countries, and said, what are they doing? And we looked and found out that what we were doing was not in line, and they had good science backing them up. So all we did was we went from 17 to 10 vaccinations recommended, but we're not preventing anybody from getting a vaccine. What we've simply done is look at the science and say, this is what the science suggests. So Robert F. Kennedy has not pulled vaccines from anybody. He's not preventing anybody from getting a vaccine. He's simply saying, Mom and Dad, you make the decision for your kids. What we're not going to have in this administration is a government forcing and mandating vaccines into our bodies or medicines down our throat or advocating for cutting our children's body parts off for some left radical, really sick ideology.
I mean, we talk about all the time the regret we have. Like, in
Awful.
what world is it a good idea to take your 6-week-old and get jabbed with 4 different chemicals in one? I mean, but we trusted our doctors, and I think our doctors were just doing what they were told in medical school based on science. So very grateful for that, because I feel like Abs and I are always like, we need to go apologize to our kids.
We really
should
do.
know better.
Well, I think it's, again, we have to be led by science, like I said, but we have to empower patients. I mean, as a surgeon, I lived and died by informed consent. I had patients who I said, maybe I diagnosed a prostate cancer, and I said, here's your treatment options, sir. Here's what I think is best. Here's the options. What's right for you? And if they made a decision that I disagreed with, I didn't abandon them. I said, I respect you. We respect people's right or we respect their intellect to make a decision for themselves. It's all about informed consent. What you will never see this administration, and what you will never see me or Secretary Kennedy or Dr. Oz or Dr. Bhattacharya, you'll never see us try to force our personal agenda on people. We'll always be guided by science, and we'll always give them the...
Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth with Allison and JP. And in case you missed it, ICYMI. Isn't that, are those the initials? In case you missed it, we have news. We have great news. Our news is that we have partnered with Yellowhammer. It is prayed over, done, and we are thrilled to be with them. And what does that mean for y'all? Well, little tweaks, but we're the same. Allison?
Little tweaks.
Just a little.
We're just shifting. We're pivoting just a little bit. That's it. Not a big deal. So tomorrow we will be back here on WVNN from 2 to 5. We will be on all of our platforms from 2 to 5. Social media. You can watch, you can listen. Starting Monday, though, things are changing. We will not be on WVNN. We will be on Yellowhammer's Facebook page and Yellowhammer's Twitter page and Yellowhammer's all the places. And we will be streaming live from 10 to noon on all of our social media platforms as well. Content will be the same. Actually, the amount of content will be the same, but you just get it quicker, faster, better, more efficiently with less breaks. It's a win. And then we're on 10 to noon every day. And if you can't listen to us until your drive home at 5, you just boop, 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 pull us up wherever you listen to your
sound effect.
Boop, 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 boop. And you got us there from 2 to 5. You can listen to us twice.
Yeah, easy.
That's it. But we're really excited. JP is again a little. You've been with the Huntsville audience for a long time.
Literally, my first time ever speaking on radio.
Yep.
Until now.
And Dale Jackson raised you into the man you are.
Don't say that publicly, okay?
What? He did a good job.
Yeah, but now he can.
Claim
he's going to use.
He likes to say that about Yaffe and everybody that he made them. So I can't say that. We can't say.
Listen, Huntsville, y'all are good people. My husband's family is from Huntsville. We still have family in the area, so we just look forward to meeting you on Monday as we start our newest chapter. Same show. We cannot wait to see y'all there. But y'all are amazing, and we so enjoyed our interactions with y'all. Now it's going to be different, but the same different.
Same
Monday.
Telephone number, right?
Yes.
Same
nothing
text
changes.
number.
Yes.
You want to give it out one more time?
Yeah, the text number is going to be the same, 833-687-4448. That's not going to change. So you can text in during the show like the same way. Yeah. And freaking Chris from Rogersville claims that Dale Jackson took credit for me this morning on his radio show already. So I don't know what he said, but I have to go back and listen.
DJ.
Oh, he's talking about you.
What?
Taking credit.
Look at that.
All right. Well,
everybody loves JP.
So before the break, because you have thoughts on this, we were discussing what Sinclair should do with her mother's ashes and with little puppy ashes.
Yeah.
So we have ashes in the closet. All right. And Allison brought up maybe we should go to the Dollar Tree and to TJ Maxx and sprinkle ashes. And I said, I'm your girl. Like, I'm down. I'm the friend you call that all I'm going to say to you is, we ride at dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Or what time should I be there? Or even better, that sounds like a horrible idea. What time? This, however, is a great idea. So we're exploring the space. We listen and we don't judge. But we're going to help Miss Sinclair figure out what to do with the ashes. And you have thoughts, apparently.
Well,
JP.
First of all, Jack from Ardmore says, oh my God, I am crying laughing while driving. Dog cremated in closet with mom.
It's so funny.
Look, Banks and Nana are tight
Banks
at this
and Nana.
point.
Banks. One of my dogs that bit it was named Banks.
You have such a way with words.
It had a heart attack.
I'm happy for you. I mean, what do you want me to say?
We buried it rapidly in the backyard.
Congratulations.
No, we came home from the lake and the kids are like, Mom, we think something's wrong with Banks.
Your dead dog?
Yeah, this is a dog.
Is it your dead one or your alive one?
It was my dead dog in the backyard with a golf ball marking its grave.
Oh, gosh.
Well, that's better
Sorry.
than Nana in a closet for
Nana
6
in a
years.
closet. What are we going to do with Nana in the closet?
The only reason, y'all think I'm joking, the only reason I've not taken her to Dollar Tree yet is I'm like, she'd end up in a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
And that just doesn't seem right.
Well, Lisa from Huntsville said that she has a friend whose father was a huge Oklahoma fan, and she and her sister sprinkled their father's ashes in the end zone at Sooner Stadium and said that her friend was the lookout so they wouldn't get caught. Okay, so this is the same Lisa, if I'm correct,
Yes.
the same one that broke into Kentucky's football
She
stadium.
did.
So she has a knack of getting into football
We're
stadiums,
meant to be
obviously.
friends.
Nana wasn't a football fan. Where would Nana?
Where else could Nana go and not be disturbed?
It needs to be outside, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she like the ocean? Did she like the mountains?
Well, see, that's a whole problem too. We thought we'd take her to the beach house that I grew up. We owned a beach house, but then she divorced my stepdad, and we don't have access to that beach house anymore. And I guess we could sneak
You
on,
can sneak in.
and he'd probably let us go throw Nana in the ocean.
I'm sure he'd let her throw Nana in
Yeah,
the ocean.
he might let us,
Yeah.
but Nana kind of screwed that one up. She was a painter. So, I mean, this is kind of weird. We actually have thought about, tell me if this is weird. I can't believe we're having this discussion, but we've thought about like mixing her in some paint and painting, like letting the kids and everybody paint a canvas or something.
I've heard of that.
And then you have painted Nana on the wall.
That's kind of creepy.
Is that weird?
That's a bit weird.
Okay.
Here lies
Bad
Nana.
idea.
Paint a picture of her with her own.
No, it just is gonna. I mean, we could paint a landscape with Nana, but I'm just saying her. Okay, apparently the way y'all are looking at me, that's a terrible idea.
I've heard of it.
It's a terrible. Well, look, I'm glad we didn't do what we really thought about. We were going to plant a tree at our old house.
That's what I was going
Oh,
to say.
I'm glad you didn't do that for those.
Yeah,
That.
and we
For
were going to
what?
let her grow in the tree and do like a little something for her. Well, but then we sold the house and they tore down the house and now it's leveled.
okay.
And
Except
they
for,
probably
did they
would've-
tear down the garage too?
No, the garage is still up. But
Huh.
but yeah.
Well,
Any other ideas?
yeah, I
You
mean,
have
we got, well, they're not really ideas. They're just thinking that, okay, we got to read this one. Mike from Eva says, skeletons in the closet much?
That's funny.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
It's just Nana and Banks though. It's not that
They're
scandalous.
safe. They're safe with you. You can go talk to your mom anytime and she won't talk back.
I forget she's there until I need dog food or an extension cord or a ruler or some tape. It's bad.
How did we, it's so funny we
I
stumbled
don't
into this.
know.
What else do people think, JP?
Let's see. Jack from Ardmore says Nana on the wall, laughing emoji. Rosalind from Harvest says on the internet you can find companies that will take Nana and make her into some jewelry. I've actually heard of this. That way she can be with you everywhere you go.
All right.
Oh, she did love jewelry.
You can make some
That's a good story for
really
someday.
nice jewelry.
Chris from Athens also says turn her into a diamond for everyone. Everybody gets a piece of Nana.
Everybody sparkles.
You want a piece of me?
Right now, it's just. Have y'all? Never mind. It just looks like dirt. Take a lot of pressure to turn that into a diamond.
We got lucky because I've never heard of like this. It's like a graveyard, but for urns.
Yeah.
And it's right. I've never heard it, but they literally made it right before my grandmother died 10 years ago. And she got cremated and put in there. And then when my grandfather died a couple years ago, now their urns are next to each other in the
Aw.
same.
Can you
Yeah.
take them
thing.
out?
Yeah.
You
go-
can take the urns out?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Like if you
not
wanted to go
going
shopping
but
for old
yeah.
time's sake.
I mean, it's
Are
just
they
like
glued on?
it's just like a cubby and a tile, and the tile has both of their names on it.
Aw.
But yeah, I mean, you could go and pry it open and take them. But yeah, but that's so we got lucky. We didn't have to think about what we're gonna do with Mima and Pap Pap. But they're sitting. But
I wish
my grandparents are together. They're in a mausoleum though. They're not in. They're like coffins are in there.
Oh, in the
yeah. Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
A mausoleum?
mausoleum.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I've never until that I didn't even know that was a thing. But let's see if we got any others. I don't think so. I think we got all of them.
Okay.
Oh, there's one you can't read.
Okay, well, Ian from Hartsville, and now he just said, actually, there aren't any skeletons in the closet. Talking about the earlier comment. Yeah, it's just ashes.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
You know.
You could put them back together, but they're dead, Abs. They're dead.
They're dead.
As Abs likes to say.
They're dead. Or as my husband is fond of saying lately, we're all dirt bags anyway. From Dusty, what?
It's my mama you're talking about.
Abs is on a roll today.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No more coffee.
I'll take myself out.
You take your what?
I'll take myself out.
No more coffee.
Okay, well, real quick, we got to ask before we go to break. Like, this may be a morbid question, but
Oh no.
I'm not getting creepy. Like, are you?
I'm getting buried.
Yeah, I'm getting buried. I'm not.
Really?
No.
Are you getting
Why?
cremated?
I just, what's so funny? It's not funny. I mean, it's funny now that it's in the past, but my grandfather, I mean, he knew he wanted to get cremated and be with my grandma, but he was saying the same thing I was thinking now, where he's just like, that just kind of freaks me out. Like them burning I mean, you're dead.
Yeah.
But that freaks me out to think about. But I don't know. Some people don't have a problem with it. I don't want to be ashes. I mean, I know I'm dead, but like.
It is. So. We're too far in at this
We're
point.
too far. Like, we got to finish the segment.
I didn't know. I had never had to make I'm an only child. And so I had to make lots of decisions as my mom was sick and do all that. And so I wasn't sure. I knew she wanted to be cremated, but I wasn't sure how it all worked. So she had the best nurse ever named Cookie.
Oh.
Okay. Cookie was awesome. And one day we started thinking about the plans and how, like she was getting close. It was a few days out. And Cookie and I looked at each other and we're like, what do you wear to be cremated?
That's another question.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have a video of it, y'all. It's hysterical. Cookie called the cremation place for me. And we had a whole discussion about what you put them in. But it really is funny because you're not getting those clothes back.
Yeah, right?
You're like, do you just do you go in willy-nilly or what? But nope, they take your clothes and everything. And so it is a lot to consider. You think it's like easy.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's a whole thing. What are you going to wear? I had to make that decision.
When we come back, let's do a cheery topic.
I've got a fun one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you really?
No, I really do.
Does it have to do with dead puppies or something?
And you know what? Maybe in the break, we start eating those cupcakes.
Let's eat cupcakes. And I've got happy stories
today.
No,
I could use
I
some
do.
cupcakes.
I've had barely any food today. That's my problem.
Yeah, me too.
I need some food.
Pray for us. We'll be back.
For their own health.
And you would think post-COVID, people would be thrilled for that. And yet there still seems to be pushback on that idea. There's pushback on the COVID vaccine still. I have young grandchildren. It's still pushed on them. Can you speak to that at all? Because it's unbelievable after all we've learned, after the evidence that's presented itself, that there would be any pushback at all. That we'd say, no, we really do want to make the decision for ourselves. We want to make the decision for our children. We're not anti-science. We're not vaccine deniers.
That's exactly right.
That's not who we are.
We aren't. I've heard Secretary Kennedy say in his confirmation hearing, just like I said in my confirmation hearing, listen, we know vaccines can save lives. We also know not every vaccine is the same. We also know not every vaccine is right for every individual. So you would think people would be happy to have us be able and empower folks to make their own decisions. But again, I think there are those on the left, there are those who hate the president, they hate the secretary, they really hate the ability of people to think for themselves.
Yes.
Right? So they don't support our agenda, which our agenda is health and freedom.
And we're so glad. So I'll save it.
No, if if you're on the track, go. Stay
Well,
on the
I wanted
track.
to talk food pyramid.
Oh, that's
good.
actually where I was going to go.
Okay, perfect. Same brain as always.
Great. I'm glad because this is important. The new dietary guidelines are absolutely incredible. They are amazing. And so what law requires is that at least every 5 years new guidelines come out. And so when you look at the guidelines from the past, particularly the recommendations that were made by the prior administration, it was just pushing highly processed, highly sugary, fake food on the American people. Why do we have an obesity epidemic in this country among kids, among adults? At least part because of the junk food that are pushed down our throat. And our dietary guidelines do, just like you said, Allison, we've taken the pyramid and we flipped it. What we are doing now is we are emphasizing protein. We're emphasizing whole foods, nutrient-dense foods. We're emphasizing protein gotten through meats and fish, eggs. We're emphasizing whole fat dairy because that's really healthy. We're telling people, don't be afraid of saturated fat in your diet, right? Don't be afraid. Fat is not about, our body needs fat.
Yep.
Our nervous system needs fat. We have to have fat. Now, we aren't saying go out and overindulge in fat, but what we're saying is don't be afraid of it. We're saying get your protein, get your nutrients, get your carbohydrates from whole nutrient-dense food and move away from sugary, fake, processed food. That's all we've said. And I'm telling you, this is going to make a difference in the health of this country, and it makes a difference in affordability. And I really want to touch on that as we talk more about it.
Yeah. Quick question before we do jump into affordability, because I think that's on everybody's mind. What took so long? Why wasn't the food pyramid inverted before now?
That is a great question. Tell you, there are a lot of forces out there. There's a lot of big pharma. There's a lot of big agriculture. A lot of individuals with a lot of money who really love to see sugary processed foods. Think about that. If you can get kids and adults in this country eating, and I don't want to pick on any particular product, but eating a sugary cereal for breakfast every morning, that's a heck of a lot of money that you make in your pocket as that industry. So there's a reason to push those foods. I think that's part of it. But one thing I will say about Secretary Kennedy is I've described him as being a John the Baptist for our times, because he has been a voice crying out in the wilderness, we're poisoning our kids. We're over-medicalizing people. We are destroying this country from within by bad health decisions. He's been a voice crying out. And so flipping the pyramid, making this is just an example of the kind of radical change that we see with this administration and Secretary Kennedy, all for the good.
I just have to say that I'm really, about a year and a half ago, I cut out all seed oils. I actually upped my salt intake. I add in like organic avocado oil or olive oil. Like I actually add oil to things. I mean, and it flies in the face of everything. I mean, I promise Lucky Charms were the base of the food pyramid when I was growing up.
I understand exactly what you're saying, because I do too. Like, yesterday for breakfast, before I flew down, made myself some eggs for breakfast, and I poured some olive oil on them, a little bit of salt and pepper,
some ghee.
Yeah, we're not. You don't be afraid of those things.
Yeah. Right.
Our guidelines teach us to eat the way our bodies have always been meant to eat.
Right.
Not Lucky Charms or whatever the sugary garbage food you want. Right? No, not that. Eat whole foods.
Right.
Eat nutrient-dense foods. And listen, affordability plays a role, or the guidelines rather play a role in affordability. People don't think about this. If you eat the way the guidelines suggest, in other words, if you go out and you buy a pound of ground beef, how many hamburger patties can you make from that? You can feed your whole family, as opposed to going to buy one lousy food.
Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth with Allison and JP. And thank you for listening and not judging, or for learning in live and living color that my coping mechanism is to laugh. And
What did you need to cope with?
well, because we're
Death?
talking about death. So
True.
I learned in high school, when fighting with my high school boyfriend, that when I got stressed out, instead of crying, I laughed.
It's a deep
It's
life
not-
lesson to learn in high school.
Not good. It's not a good thing. But I do have cheery news. I don't know if y'all are sick and tired of this, and maybe y'all are sick and tired of this as well. Are y'all tired of seeing people in pajamas flying on airplanes?
Okay, this is a good conversation. Are y'all one of those people that thinks you need to like dress somewhat like not like in a suit, but dress somewhat appropriate to be on a flight, or is like sweats?
Like put some clothes on. Yeah.
Well, define clothes.
Well, maybe I mean,
like what does clothes mean to you?
Jeans, t-shirt, like a cute something.
What about
just not pajamas?
What about a matching sweatsuit?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cute.
Okay.
That's adorable. So Tampa International, we lived there for 3 years, and one of our children was born in Tampa, said this, and I wonder what you guys think about this. We've seen enough. We've had enough. It's time to ban pajamas at Tampa International Airport. After successfully banning Crocs and giving everyone the amazing opportunity to experience the world's first Croc-free airport, it's time to take on an even larger crisis. Pajamas.
Is this real?
Yeah. At the airport in the middle of the day. Trust me, I live there. I know how people dress there. It's not great. We know this decision could be disruptive to someone in your life. It's time to have a difficult conversation with them. You can do this. We and Phoebe believe in you. The madness stops today. The movement starts now. Help Tampa International Airport become the world's first Crocs-free and pajama-free airport. Do your part. Say no to pajamas at TPA.
So I can't wear my pink Crocs anymore on flights?
No.
I'm a sweats, like hoodie and sweats on flights. Like when we flew back from Europe, I the only clean, because I never pack enough clothes. Shocker. The only clean clothes I had left were jeans. And I had to wear blue jeans on a 10-hour flight back.
That's uncomfortable.
I was miserable. So yeah, I'm not pajamas, but sweats and Crocs. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
But Crocs with socks, by the way. Just say.
Oh,
yeah.
Even cuter.
I mean, is that legal? Can you tell people you're federally funded in some ways? Can you tell people?
You can shame them.
Oh, maybe it's not enforceable, but because I don't know. I think that's really gutsy to put that out.
Love it.
I'm not. I don't think you should look like a slob. And I've seen some airport. It's not the pajamas. It's like the booties hanging out, and you show up in your bathing suit and a cover up that's see through. Like that's a problem. But I just don't know how you can. Seems like some Bill of Rights infringement.
But do you remember Sean Duffy did a message
on
Thanksgiving last year saying, please don't wear pajamas. Dress appropriately for your flight.
It makes me want to wear pajamas.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. Because I'm that kind of person.
Well, it's just a fun thing to use shame to get people to put clothes on.
And why you got to single out Crocs? Like back in the day, we wore jellies.
Jellies
were fantastic.
With jellies? I had white, sparkly jellies.
Pink.
Yeah. I probably had pink too.
You know what jellies are? Nope.
It's just a shame campaign. I'm here for it. I'm tired of the PJs on planes. I love the sweatsuits. But let's just, and like you said, like the bra tops and stop.
Yeah. Just that's bad.
You know what? For my next flight, I'm going full suit, tie, nice watch. Like I'm going to, no, I'm just kidding.
You're going Mr. Smith Goes to Washington?
Definitely not.
That's your vibe?
I think there's a happy medium. We can meet in the middle. But I'm still not against PJs. At least make them clean, though. We'll be back.
Burger from some company out there that's a fake food. If you eat the way the guidelines suggest, whole fruits and vegetables, whole nutrient-dense food, it is cheaper. It will put money in Americans' pockets. It is affordability immediately in your pocket. I know because I've done it. I've looked at this and I do it now, and I tabulate what I would normally spend if I were not following our guidelines. You're going to save money by doing that. And in the long run, our country will be healthier. There will be less obesity. There will be less heart disease, less chronic disease, and things will be cheaper that way too. But there's immediate affordability with our guidelines if people really try it out, if people really embrace these guidelines.
How do you respond, though, when people say, well, what about the food deserts? What about the rural areas that don't have access to whole, fresh foods?
I think that's great. No, I think that's a real concern. How do we water those food deserts, if you will? And that's important, and we're certainly working on that. There's the rural health transformation, $50 billion from the federal government that will go to certain states. Alabama has received over $200 million of that. That, I think, $203 million was the statistic that I got this morning when I was checking on that. What's that going to go to? Bringing better health care to rural areas like we have in Alabama and other states, bringing quality health care, improving health care outcomes, educating people about the right foods to eat. And yes, there's a role for trying to get rid of these food deserts as well. But there's so much going on in this administration that we're doing that are win, 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 win. It's promises made, promises kept by President Trump, Secretary Kennedy, and everybody, all of us who work at the Department of Health and Human Services.
Could we talk a little bit more? I remember years ago the rural medicine push. My husband's a gastroenterologist, so I was with him, remembering hearing all of that. Seemed to get better. Now it seems that we're back scrambling, trying to get that rural healthcare situated again.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to us about that in a little more in depth?
Sure. I think this is the perfect example of how President Trump cares about everybody in this country. We don't just care as conservatives and as Republicans and as members of this administration. We don't care just about the big cities. We care about every part of the country, and we certainly have rural areas that they are facing challenges for healthcare access. And so this rural health transformation is hopefully going to help improve those situations. Again, like I said, $50 billion going out to states, our own state, Alabama benefiting, other states benefiting as well. But no, President Trump realizes we have to make America greater than she's ever been. We have to make America healthier than she's ever been. And this is going to be part of that.
That's great.
Are there any other issues that you want to touch on or things you're working on? And initiatives?
Sure. I want to say one thing about some values issues, and then I would like to talk about some things we're doing for affordability and such in the administration.
And talk about Trump RX. Because are y'all part of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Trump RX, great idea. The idea being is that people are going to be able to be linked up with ways to get the most affordable drugs they can. Again, this is going to put money in people's pockets immediately and today. Trump RX is a great program. Again, helping people to get linked up to get the drugs that they need at the lowest prices they can get. So yes, incredibly important. The last on the values issues, going back for just a second, one of the things that I think is incredibly important is that we see the rise, unfortunately, in this country of what people will say physician-assisted suicide. I call it euthanasia. I call it physicians and nurses helping murder people. We see this on the rise in this country. If you look at countries like Canada, it's one of the leading causes of death. Yeah. Canada was so proud of itself, this was several months ago, because someone who had been, who had euthanasia, who chose to die by their own hand or a doctor's hand, they donated those organs. That's a horrible precedent to set.
Good grief.
We have states in this country that have adopted bills or adopted those laws. I think most recently it is Governor Pritzker in Illinois has signed a bill into law to allow euthanasia. Governor Hochul is considering that. She will probably sign that in New York. Listen, we've been down this road before. If you look back in the 30s and 40s in Germany, the T4 program, which was the euthanasia program.
Welcome back to the Right Side. I am Amy Beth with Allison and JP, and we're going to talk a little bit about some Alabama news and a press conference, a press call with Senator Tuberville about some issues in Alabama. We have a clip of that.
I think JP has it, and then Yellowhammer has an article that they just put out. You want to go first?
Do we want to preview the clip and the background and all that?
Yeah.
So essentially, this was a press call with Coach Tuberville earlier today, and primaries and closing the primaries has been a topic of discussion in Alabama politics over the last couple of weeks or so. But there was actually a bill filed by Ernie Yarborough this morning, I think, about closing the primaries, or was it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's been filed.
Well, anyway, so it's just been a major topic of discussion in Alabama, and obviously, Coach being pretty much the governor-elect, people have been wondering his stance on this, and he was asked this morning, and this is his response.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about this. I've spoken with Speaker Ledbetter, and we agree that we have to do something about Democrats voting in our elections. They shouldn't be doing it. I know he's moving a bill forward, hopefully a bill very, very soon, as we speak. And if we can get that done, I think it's going to help the cause of the conservative Republicans in the state of Alabama.
So this issue actually really started becoming a huge topic through the Republican Party and political circles in 2022 in the Mo Brooks, Katie Britt, Mike Durant race. And the Alabama Republican Party, I think twice already, has passed a resolution to close the primaries, but it has never made it to the legislature. And I think what's significant about this is, if you remember, which how can you forget, there recently was a leaked audio of Speaker Ledbetter in the caucus meeting. And it doesn't, if you listen to the clip that is published, it doesn't exactly say what he's referring to when he says, I don't care about the Republican Party. Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
Look, we
gotta have a button that just says allegedly.
Allegedly.
And allegedly, his remarks were made in regards to, I don't care about the Republican Party. I don't care about closing primaries. Now, that's interesting because all of a sudden it's coming out that there is a bill, and I think allegedly what I'm hearing, allegedly.
The streets are saying.
The streets are saying, okay, I'm not going to do that again. The streets are saying that I think Ernie Yarborough may have a bill to close the primaries. And then James Lomax may have a bill that he is bringing to close the primaries as well. I don't know which one Senator Tuberville was referring to. Maybe he doesn't even know. We are not privy to those insider conversations, but it looks like, ta-da, Speaker Ledbetter and Tommy Tuberville are both now supportive of closing the primaries.
To which we say, bravo and thank you.
It would be a huge turnaround. And if you remember, Jarek Wilkins came on the show, when was that? Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been extremely critical of Speaker Ledbetter, but he was like, look, you want to start showing us that you care about Republicans and you care about the state, close the primaries. And here we are. So if they can get that done, it's two things. If they can get that done, that's very impressive. And that means that they're listening, and Speaker Ledbetter in the end does care about the Republican Party and your voice. But number two, this is what you need to really remember. They can do things quickly if they want to.
Right. So
it's funny.
Well, go ahead.
No, it is funny that they can do what they want. So please don't ever burn this into your brain. They can do what they want when they want to.
Yep.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Y'all tell me if I'm off base here. We can play, all sides of it. But in my view, whenever I see this and I see something, I don't know, timing is everything. And this is a very red, meaty, and should be a no-brainer bill. The timing of it, though, seems a little conspicuous. Could there have been allegedly, or hypothetically, could this be a ploy, like throw a bone, get some people off of Ledbetter's back? Ledbetter maybe say, let's cool it. I'll give y'all this if you just leave me alone. So I'm happy if it gets passed. I think this should get passed. But then you go to the other side of it of does Ledbetter, whoever, actually want this to get passed, or do they just want the attacks and the eyeballs and the spotlight off and just, all right, just take this and move on? Am I off base in thinking that?
No, but even if this is a big deal and it's a big win, we've talked about further things that they could do. but you are very astute because we talked about it with Jarek. And then last week, JP, we talked about it with Jarek, but there is some red meat that they'll throw out to distract from some other things. There are things that have taken years too long to get accomplished. But be that as it may, if this happens, this is magnificent. This is a huge deal.
Yeah. I mean, JP, I think you're 100% spot on. Like, this 100% is a, hey, let's talk.
Right.
Let's negotiate. I think Speaker Ledbetter and his people are feeling the pressure, which I think is warranted and needed. For a long time, the really Freedom Caucus type conservatives in the Alabama House, Senate less, but still kind of the same, have really not been heard. And I think this is the first time, not that Speaker Ledbetter doesn't pass some conservative things, because he has, but they really have a voice. And I know I've spoken to several legislators. He is actually reaching out to some of these people saying, hey, tell me about this. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, that is a total 180 shift.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, yes, that's politics.
Right.
That is negotiation. And that's actually how you do politics. You
Right.
don't become the speaker and act like a dictator. And nobody else, unless they agree with you, can get anything done. You go to people, you listen, and you say, you know what? I disagree, but tell me why you think this way. How can we maybe meet in the middle? Could we do this later? Whatever. You negotiate and you listen and you debate. And that's what we've lost. So
Right.
at the end of the day, I don't really care why. It's
Yeah.
kind of like people are like, well, I don't really like him. I don't want him to be my senator. Or I don't need a best friend in Montgomery. I just want you to vote right and do the right thing.
That's right.
So if we can start moving the needle on some of these things, it would be huge. Now, what we talked about, closed primaries, is not the silver bullet that a lot of people think it is. And I think it's good to talk through some of the pitfalls. One that was brought up to me yesterday was, and I'm curious what you think about this, JP, was talking about young people. Okay, you're 18, you get to vote. You think you're a liberal Democrat. So you go and you register with your Democrat party. Well, in 2 years, you're paying taxes and you don't really want to be a Democrat anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to take the time to switch your party to the Republican Party, or are you just not going to go vote? Do you lose some of the young vote there?
Right.
You can still, like Jeff from Indiana was saying, you can still go vote. You can be a Democrat and go vote and register in the Republican. So
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. I mean, even 3 years ago, I was very much different in a different spot than I am now politically. And I'm very much in a different spot than I was a year ago. So that is a thing, how I would hope that if you care enough about politics to register to vote as a Democrat in the first place, you would go to the lengths if you actually had a genuine repentance to change it back to Republic. But I don't know. I mean, that is something to think about. I will just say this, though, because the reason I asked that is it's important for our listeners to see politics through that lens, because everything is connected. And as I'm getting closer to the sun, so to speak, I'm starting to learn that more in politics. Like, because I used to be the same way of, I think each thing is individually its own. Like, oh, well, that's good. Oh, well, everything is, timing is intentional. Everything's intentional and it's all related. But you're right. Conservatives don't do that enough. Conservatives don't play the game enough of, hey, I got this leverage on you. I want to use that to get what I want done. We'll meet in the middle. And I think that's why we're not as well as playing the game, as conservatives don't play that game of politics well. But I think it's important for our listeners to view politics through that lens. But also, I agree, we need more people, more conservatives in Montgomery playing the game like that to get stuff like this done.
And we're piggybacking off of what both of you are saying. You said something about policy and you don't need a best friend. And you also said playing the game better. I also think we have to adjust, and we've talked about it on the show. We'll continue to talk about it, especially as we step into being in front of a new audience. We are talking about policies. So often people think we're talking about people. Now, we are talking about their policies and we're talking about their choices. People confuse that and think we're talking about the people. No, this is what they did.
Yeah.
And this is why we're going to hold them accountable. That's their policy. Eventually, though, you do become what you do. And if you continue to do, things that are against the conservative party or the Republican Party, and you say you're a conservative, well, then we can only believe that's who you really are. But generally, we like to talk about policy and positions, and we look at that. And Allison's right. We do not need a best friend. We need people who will do right. We also need to understand that it is not all or nothing. And that's why we don't play the game very well.
That one's hard, Abs.
It's so hard because
I've had to learn that one.
Yeah, I used to be an all or nothing person. And then I started looking at my own heart and I went, ooh, why do I expect perfection out of other people when I can barely keep it together? And so that taught me that we have to get as much as we can. And then we live to fight another day. We haven't won thinking it's all or nothing, my way or the highway. But we can go toe to toe and do our best to play the game well to get the most of what we want, understanding that that's not possible. But the all or nothing mindset also holds us back. And so then we don't know how to play this game because it is a game.
That's a tough one to learn. I used to be an idealist, and I don't think in politics you can really be that. There are some non-negotiables that you should die on every hill of some of those that you just don't negotiate on. But the ones 2% tax versus 3%, I don't think we can shun people for that. Take what you can get. But what I will say before we go to a break, the next thing that everybody needs to really pay attention to is if there are 2 potential closed primary bills out there, I don't know if 2 will be dropped. I don't know how they're going to handle that. But whatever bill comes out as the front runner, read the bill and pay attention to the details because it's classic. Hey, we're closing the primaries. Detail says, but this, and this is still got to happen. So it comes down when this bill drops to semantics, read the fine print and make sure they are actually delivering what they say they're going to deliver. Because there's several different ways you can implement a closed primary. It can be state run, it can be party run, and that matters and makes a huge difference. So that's what we'll be watching from here. I also, when we come back, the Senate passed a gambling bill yesterday out of committee and out of the chamber. So I'm going to look that one up in the break, and we need to talk about that.
That was loud.
You want me to stop talking,
Sorry.
JP? Is that it? I gotcha. We'll be back.
To relieve the society of the burden of life, quote, they said, life unworth living. Since when do we become God and judge? No life is unworth living. That doesn't mean there's not suffering. But when you say, I take the most vulnerable, whether they be kids with a terrible cancer or adults at the end of their life, and we say that life is not worth living, so we're going to kill them off, that's a huge problem. It is a really dark slope, a really dark precedent, and I feel very strongly about that. I have an op-ed that I wrote that is going to be released on Breitbart that addresses this. That is something we take very seriously in this administration.
It's one you don't really think about.
You really don't. And yet, I think maybe it was Francis Schaeffer way back in the 70s who said that if we are going to allow abortion, the logical conclusion can only be euthanasia. And back then you go, oh, that's ridiculous. And here we are.
Right. I mean, let's face it. We remember what Bill Clinton, safe and rare, talking about abortion. Right now, what is it? Now it's Katie bar the door, all the way up until the day of birth, or goodness gracious, during labor. So you're right. You look at something like that, and that person was a prophet so long ago to talk about that.
So could we values issue, your choice, because you're you.
Yep.
Values issue, or could we go to affordability for one quick second? I wanted to ask you about PBMs and where things stand with pharmacy benefit managers, because as I understand it, y'all are working on that.
That's right.
Helping people make drugs more affordable. We have someone in our household who takes a medication and without help it is a ridiculous price. So we're very thankful for the work that you're doing. But could you speak to the pharmacy benefit manager and their role in perhaps keeping drugs more inflated than they should be?
Sure. I mean, I think if you look, everything President Trump is doing, everything that we're doing at HHS, and a lot of this falls under Dr. Oz at CMS, Medicare, Medicaid, everything that we're doing is to reduce drug prices for people in this country. President Trump has worked hard to bring what we call most favored nation pricing. In other words, people in this country paying prices for drugs that are commensurate or the same as other countries, as opposed to these jacked up and ramped up prices. There are so many things President Trump is doing to work to lower drug prices for all of us. The PBMs are right. That's an area some people call them the middlemen or the middle managers. Everything that we're doing is trying to lower drug prices for people in this country. You mentioned Trump RX. Again, a huge step forward to help people connect with how they get the drugs at the lowest prices they can. Absolutely. If you look, there are, through CMS, there are drugs that are used for cancer treatment and chronic disease where we're working hard, and we have lowered those prices, producing incredible cost savings. We've seen that compared to last year. There's going to be more price savings and more drugs on that list. The prices are coming down in 2026 and more even in 2027. Again, working to lower the cost of these drugs that are important to treat cancer or to treat chronic disease. We are winning on the front of bringing down drug pricing. Are we winning fast enough? Listen, President Trump will always say, no matter how good we do, we could always do better. He is such a lion to move things forward. So we're working hard on that, and we're pushing forward. We want drugs to be as affordable as they can for people in this country. And again, there are concrete things that we have done that have dropped the drug prices down. There is a role to play also thinking about Medicaid services. You know, prescription drugs in Medicaid account for over $100 billion. Again, actively, there is a program out that states can opt into where they're getting lower prices for prescription drugs for Medicaid patients. And you may say, well, Medicaid doesn't affect me. But again, when you think $100 billion or more, it affects all of us because all of us are paying into that. We have lowered drug prices for Medicaid patients if these states opt into the program. The program is called the Generous Program. It's an acronym. The idea of lowering these prices, that's putting money back in the pockets of all Americans, those of us who pay federal taxes anyway.
Yeah.
So we are winning on all fronts when it comes to lowering drug prices, but there's more that we're doing. There's more to come, but we've done concrete things already.
Can y'all do anything about stopping Big Pharma from advertising every single slot during every single football game or thing I want to watch? It's really annoying.
I am
true.
so happy that you asked that.
Well, good, because I'm expecting you to handle it.
I'm so happy you asked that. So after I had my confirmation hearing in July, and that was before I had my confirmation vote, but I had my hearing. We felt good about things. I closed my practice here in Birmingham, and I wanted to move up to Washington. And so I reached out to the commissioner at FDA, Marty McCary, because I know Marty. I said, Marty, can I come work as an advisor? Can I come work at the FDA? So I worked for about 3 months at FDA before I got confirmed into my position that I'm in now. One of the things that Marty tasked me to do when I was there was to work on this very issue, the direct-to-consumer marketing. Yeah. And if you remember back in the fall...
Welcome back to The Right Side. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. We are glad you're here and wonder about your thoughts about our previous conversation about perhaps a closed primary bill dropping, and also learning the news that apparently a gambling bill passed out of a committee.
Oh gosh, I was supposed to look that
No, it's
up.
okay.
I
We'll
got
look it up
distracted.
and talk about it in the 4:00 hour because there's other news to discuss. But pay attention to a person's policy. Like Allison says, often personnel is policy. The choices they make are who they are. But we really like to keep it on the policies and the choices that they make. That tells us who a person is. And so we're going to check into the gambling bill because, of course, the gambling bill is back. They can't leave it alone.
I'm going to get my computers.
Get your computers, Judy, and tell us what
Go
they
on the Facebooks.
say.
And I'm going to put my glasses on, too, because this is serious.
Your glasses is so beautiful.
You got to put them on the end of your nose.
They match
Just
yours.
right there, you know. Her Peepa's glasses, and
Can't
I have
read.
mine from the Peepa's as well. So, all right. So we have that. And then do you think that a closed primary bill will actually happen? Because we do. We're excited that there's the possibility on the horizon, but here's what we'll do tomorrow when we can get our hands on it. There's a whole thing to reading a bill because Allison's right. You're like, yay, this is happening. It's like Christmas.
Just a bill.
And then the details. We see that in the U.S. House all the time, don't we? We're like, why'd you vote for that bill? It sounded great on the front. And then you dig in and you're like, wait, it says you're for this and this and this, and you let this appropriation happen. It's always a game, which is why we have to be engaged. The idea that we're put on the planet for such a time as this to just let it happen and life unwind the way it's going to unwind does not work. It's never worked. Apathy cannot be our position. We have to explore, because if this closed bill becomes a thing, it's because all of y'all were engaged and you called and you let your voices be heard. And this is what happens. This is the most encouraging part to us.
It's the grassroots in action.
Wow. Exactly. That's a thrill. And that's what we want to continue doing. What say y'all?
I agree completely. Not much else to add.
I like it when you agree completely.
I'm not even. Oh my gosh.
What? Allison.
All right. Y'all keep doing the show.
Okay,
I'm looking at the gambling bill.
We got about a minute and a half. We got some texts. We'll read those to end up the
please.
segment.
That'd be great.
And then we'll get to that on the other side. But okay, Michael from Moulton is 100% correct. And this is a fun discussion to have.
Oh, now I'm intrigued.
There's two things. Okay, I'm just going to say it's for Rita Sex. There's two things that I think you have to get jail time for. And this is one of them. Michael from Moulton, we were talking about the airplanes and pajamas on airplanes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
No, sorry.
Okay.
But he said putting your buggy up at Walmart in the parking lot in the designated place is a bigger issue than flying clothes for me and for society and lazy people.
100%.
Littering and leaving your buggy out, jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Cannot stand that crap. Like, can you, how much of a bad person do you have to be in the parking lot? You take the groceries out of your buggy, put them in the car, and you're just like, and leave it and drive. Like, how could you? It's 10 feet away.
Okay, listen. Let me make an amendment because I completely agree with you.
I know exactly what she's going to say.
You have little kids in the car screaming. Somebody has pooped their pants. It's a backer. All hell has broken loose.
JP's not buying it.
He's not. But I'm telling you, it is a thing. You do have to give special amendments to mothers with young children, with the young. And then with the old people that may be doddering and tottering to their car and they're not actually going to make it to put the cart up, I give you grace. But the rest of you, straight to jail.
I'm just thinking about the Bubba with the cigarette in his mouth, and he's got his big old Ford F-150, and he's about to go to the lake, and he's like, somebody else will do it. It's like,
that's a good voice. That's good.
Like I don't judge people for much. That I will absolutely judge your character. 100%. You are potentially unredeemable.
By the way, okay, we got short time. Have y'all seen the guy on TikTok
dramatic.
though that goes to has the stickers and it's called Buggy something? I can't remember. Where he sees people that don't put their buggy up and he throws the sticker on their car and they always want to fight.
Stop.
It's great. Yeah, it's Buggy something. I have to, but yeah, it's great.
That's funny. We need some of those. What are those? All right, y'all. This gambling bill is interesting. I'll try and have an update on the other side. You're gonna want to know. We'll be back.
Y'all have heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles.
Paul and his team are experts on what they call biblically responsible investing. And for a limited time, they're hosting a free class that you can register for.
Check out the class and register for free at moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, and it's financial freedom.
Again, go to Inspire Advisors at moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out and tell them you heard about them at Rightside Radio.
huge announcement because we had sent out multiple warning letters to companies saying you can't advertise the way you're doing. Because you'd have these advertisements, you've seen them, we've all seen them on TV, where you have people dancing around and looking happy, and then they put in the fine print for 10 seconds, the drug may cause suicidal ideation or death, It's unfair marketing. It's lying to the American people. So yes, we are working on that. We've done more than any other administration to send these letters to stop these ads. Okay, there's more work to be done, but at the last administration, virtually nothing being done. Now, is that because they were in cahoots with big pharma? That's what I think personally. But regardless, they were doing nothing. This administration, Secretary Kennedy, we're really addressing that problem. We do have more to do, but we've done so much more than has been done previously.
Yeah, I actually, if you stop and listen, you're like, why would anyone want to take that? Like, you're
Death?
surely going to die.
Yeah.
And some of the side effects are kind of funky. You're like, I don't know if I want that.
We want companies to have to be able to tell the American people with their ads, these are the potential risk of this drug. Again, it all goes back to informed consent. Mm-hmm. Americans need to understand what the risks are and the benefits are of anything, whether it be a surgery, whether it be a drug. We want to hold the companies accountable for that, and we are doing that.
Well, I just kind of want them gone. This is like, you're watching like the Alabama-Auburn basketball game today, and you're like having a great time, and then all of a sudden you got to think about, well, I might have kidney disease, and should I take that? Like, this is just ruining my day.
Well, they're just unfair. They're just not realistic. If you had, in my personal opinion, if you had an ad where they said, listen, this is the drug, this is the condition it treats, these are all the potential risks, talk to your doctor that you trust and make a decision, great. But no, the ads are the people dancing around and jumping around, showing their best life in the fine print when they talk about the things you're talking about. They're not honest. We are working to improve that. We've done so much more than any other administration has done. But you're right, we need to work harder, and we are. I promise you, we are.
I believe you.
Yeah,
Good.
we do. So what are other issues that we may not have covered yet that you want to make sure and talk about?
For years, we've known, those of us who are conservative, we knew that, for instance, in Medicaid programs, there was fraud going on.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you see up in Minneapolis and such, in Minnesota, in California? We are just exposing the actual fraud to the billions of dollars that's costing this country. Did that ever happen before? No, but it's happening under President Trump. It's happening under Dr. Oz, Mehmet Oz at CMS, Medicare, Medicaid. Let me tell you, he is hitting this hard. The Office of the Inspector General at HHS is hitting this hard, exposing this fraud. We are potentially, not potentially, we are going to save Americans billions of dollars because of identifying this fraud and ending this fraud. That's real affordability when you think about that. That's money that is being stolen away from the American people. We are working hard to put an end to that. That's direct affordability, and that's going on. And it's really disturbing to think that your federal dollars, my federal tax dollars are being sucked away by liars and cheats. But we are working hard to stop that. And I'm telling you, there's incredible work going on with that. Americans need to remember that. Again, remember that every day, but remember that in November as you cast those ballots. If you want to go back, if you want to go to people who would let fraud go on, all you have to do is not vote for the candidates that support the president, and you'll get more of that same garbage.
Have you connected with Congressman Tim Burchett yet, the head of Doge?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
Y'all need to meet.
It has to happen.
I have not.
Yeah, maybe he could help. He is a congressman from Knoxville, where I grew up, and he just was assigned the new chairman of the Doge committee. So maybe y'all could do some work together.
Yeah,
he's great.
No, I would love to meet that. I would love to meet him. Another thing in terms of, and this bridges the values and actually cost and affordability, the NIH announced that no longer would grants be available or go toward studies using aborted fetal tissues.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Again, Jay Bhattacharya, who is at NIH, he is an amazing warrior for this country. He's an amazing warrior for health. He is a believer. He's a brother in that respect. He's an amazing scientist. But NIH announced dollars aren't going to go toward those grants. So if those studies are going on, the money's going to be pooled. If you apply for grants for studies that use that aborted fetal tissue no longer. So what does that do? Number one, it's a win for life. Yeah. It's also a win for dollars that we have in this country for legitimate studies and research not going toward that kind of stuff. Our dollars, the dollars that we pay, tax dollars, will be going towards studies that actually improve health and actually promote life and actually do things to advance the health of this country. Again, is that affordability? 100%, because it'll make the country healthier. We will have better affordability. Our tax dollars won't go towards studies that aren't going to help this country get better. And I think that's huge. I was so proud of when I saw that come out.
And it is huge because it's also very hard for people to even believe that was happening in the first place. There's another, probably along the lines of COVID and you're a vaccine denier. Those kinds of things don't happen, but it did.
They do.
And this is remarkable that it doesn't happen anymore.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, so many good things being done. I'm a Catholic Christian.
Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth with Allison and JP. And we have, in case you missed it, very exciting news. We've texted, maybe, but we are partners now with Yellowhammer News. And frankly, we're thrilled, delighted, excited. The news dropped this morning. We've been working on it for a while, and we are so thankful to be partnered with them and for the opportunities that will be afforded because of this. Are you laughing at him eating a cupcake?
We're like in the middle of this serious, exciting announcement. I look over, JP's got like red icing all over his face.
Red on my mustache. I look like Bo.
Bless it. Bo came to the office the other day.
He did?
Yeah.
I wasn't here when Bo was here?
Yeah.
Nope.
And my niece took chalk and drew all over him.
Yeah,
So he
just
had red.
Red all over his nose.
Listen, puppies are the sweetest.
Dead ones.
I've got several.
This is not the dead one, by the way.
or
This
or
one's-
my dead cat. Okay. I've got a lot of deceased animals. I'm sorry. I cope with the morbidity of it with laughter. And I shouldn't do it. And I'm sorry.
Anyways, as we were saying,
yes,
very important announcement. Yeah. By the way, we had a texter text in earlier and was asking, God, my face looks so red on camera.
Yeah.
If it's 10 to 2 or 10 to 12, we're going from 2 to 5 to 10 to 12. So let's just clarify. The only difference is we will no longer be on radio. Digital, this listener said they listen straight digital anyway, so that's great. So digital will stay the same. The only difference is we are substituting Yellowhammer's digital platforms. We're replacing radio with that. So we'll be leaving terrestrial radio, straight digital on Rightside Media's platforms and Yellowhammer's platforms. And starting Monday, the show will be 10 to 12 instead of 2 to 5.
This is fabulous news. So we'll continue with our podcast. We will continue doing exactly what we're doing and get more done in 2 hours than we're able to do in 3. And we know so many of you, like my own family, listen as a podcast anyway. So they're like, this is perfect. I can listen whenever I want to, which is what I love. So we're excited about it. We're thankful for Yellowhammer. We're thankful for what Phil started. We're thankful that API started it before that. And we're thankful for our time along the way with our friends over at 1819 and now here. So we have much to be grateful for on a day like this. And we're also thankful for you, for listening, for tuning in, for engaging. And we look forward to that continuing on Monday. But we'll be back tomorrow. Don't fear. We'll be back tomorrow here, 2 to 5.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, tomorrow will be our last day on WVNN.
It's a quick turnaround.
But then you'll just see us Monday morning.
Yeah.
Bright
No
and
biggie.
early.
You know?
Wonder, can you be here, JP? Can you make it by 10?
For 8 months, I was at the studio in Athens at 6 o'clock every morning. So yes, I can do it.
God bless
Wow.
you.
I mean, like, I'm not going to be 10's fine. Yeah.
Are you going to be
Will
cheerful?
it work for you, JP?
I mean, I can fit it in my schedule.
Sweet.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be awesome. And again, it is kind of crazy. We actually will have the same amount of content time in 2 hours that we do in 3, which means you
Out on your way.
out on your way. You know it all. Hopefully you giggle a few times along the way. You can check out the press release. There's some more information in there at yellowhammer.com. Or is it Yellowhammer News?
It's yellowhammernews.com.
I need to know that.
Yeah, we should probably know
Yeah.
that.
Yellowhammernews.com. And if you go to the politics section, you'll see an article there 8 hours ago. Yellowhammer News and Rightside Media strike partnership deal. So go check it out.
I just follow
Very
all their
exciting.
social medias and never type it in.
Go on the interwebs.
In the interwebs, we are going to have a new website coming soon. We'll have new merch. We will have lots of exciting things happening.
Oh,
what?
Go ahead. You're going to say.
Well, I was just going to say we've got some, podcasts brewing, not just like guests, but maybe some other hosts. We got lots in the works, so y'all are going to want to stick around.
And we have a Senate forum on March the 10th that we are partnering with Yellowhammer and API.
What is API?
Alabama Policy Institute, where I got my start as an intern. API, led by Stephanie Smith. And you will not want to miss that. That's at the Hoover Public Library in their auditorium. It will be packed. Make sure you get there early. March the 10th. Be there or be square.
Also, we'll be live streaming that event just like we did the Lieutenant Governor Forum. So if you can't be there at the Hoover Library, then you can just go on Rightside Media's digitals, the socials, and watch it there.
And so many people feel like they missed out. They couldn't be at the Lieutenant Governor Forum for whatever reason. And so I've heard quite the buzz on people going, wait, when is that again? March 10th. We will see y'all there. We cannot wait.
Every candidate has agreed. Jared Hudson, Steve Marshall, Barry Moore, Rodney Walker.
That name?
Nope. Hold on. Burton. These are people, I haven't met them yet, but they're actually more people than you think.
Morgan Murphy
Yes. Actually will not be there.
Oh.
We
Really?
just found out. Seth Burton and Dr. Dale Shelton Dees. Morgan Murphy will not be there. There's something family. But he was scheduled to be there, but he will not. Everyone else has agreed. It should be a great forum. It will be the same format as the Lieutenant Governor Forum, which we had a great response to. So one of the things that we do want to start doing with Yellowhammer and as the Right Side is hosting more events, kind of getting out and meeting all of you listeners, watchers. So look for that as well.
Yeah. Yes to what she said.
Yeah.
And hopefully Allison and I will get back out on our speaking tour. We did that about 1.5 years ago. And I had somebody mention that to me again today. So we tag team and give speeches, and we're fun and interesting. So if you want to have us to your event, let us know.
Hey, how do people reach us, JP?
on the text line, you mean?
No. Well, I mean, the text line or email, like if they want to sponsor, advertise with us.
Yeah, you can go to rightsidemedia.org and, well, I don't know if there's
maybe next week you can.
Maybe next week
an
you
email
can,
address?
but there's an option to reach out on Rightside Media, or for any advertising or sponsorship inquiries, you can email marketing@rightsidemedia.org. That's marketing.
Are you sure it's Rightside Media, not Rightside Radio?
Yes, marketing@rightsidemedia.org.
Okay.
I heard from some people who might be interested today. This is very exciting. Like, literally, get on board. Come on, come with us. You'll be glad you did. You know?
I mean, it'll at least be fun. I can guarantee you that. We'll figure out what to do with Nana along the way. So real quickly, back to business. Everybody focus again.
Dialed in.
Yesterday in the Senate, again, remember how they say things take years? We took 3 years to pass What is a Woman? Well, yesterday, Bobby Singleton's Greene County gambling bill was passed out of committee at 1:30 and landed and passed out of the Senate at 3:30.
What?
Yeah. So don't let them lie to you. Don't let them lie to you that they can't do things quickly. Like hopefully, this closed primary bill. Here's the thing. This bill, and I need to read the whole thing. I haven't read it all yet, but let me just tell you. It is changing the rules for Greene County racing in, what's it called? Historically, what is it? What is HHR? I just saw this.
I don't
Historical horse racing machines. So that's how they get away with gambling, because it is you are trying to predict. It's kind of like Kalshi. Like you're trying to predict or bet on what happened in the past. It's this whole rigmarole, just ploy to gamble legally. But this bill, it increases annual compensation of the members of the Gambling Commission in Greene County.
Oh, you don't
Shocker.
say.
It does add some duties to what they're going to do. Delete certain restrictions on the number of racing days authorized, increase the authorized license fee, establish residency. So it goes through, and it doesn't really sound like much. But once you start removing the restrictions on, if this bill was passed, my understanding is that they could have other games that aren't just historical horse racing. And it kind of opens the floodgates for all kinds of machine gambling. As if that wasn't, maybe you're listening and you're like, okay, whatever. I mean, it's just Greene County. Here's what bothers me the most. If you go to the roll call, in which they make it very hard to find the roll call votes and kind of follow along with the bill, most of the Republicans, I think this is so interesting. Most of the Republicans voted either pass or abstain. So pass means you're either not voting or you're not present. Abstain means you're there, but you're not voting. Tim Melson, pass. Tom Butler, pass. Arthur Orr, pass. Garland Gudger voted yes. Larry Stutz, pass. Sam Gavan, abstain. Steve Livingston, yes. Andrew Jones, yes. Randy Price, yes. Dan Roberts, no. Jabbo Wagner, yes. Shay Shelnut, pass. Then all the Democrats. Gerald Allen, pass. Greg Albritton, yes. Will Barfoot, pass. William Beasley, yes. Donnie Chastain, yes. Clyde Chambliss, yes. Chris Elliott, pass. Jack Williams, pass. I mean, you keep going down. April Weaver, pass. Lance Bell, pass. Keith Kelly, no. Jay Hovey, yes. Hovey, yes. Josh. Anyway, Wes Kitchens, pass. Matt Woods, pass. All the Republicans passed. Why? You ran. Now, it's a local bill. Maybe that's it. And the Alabama legislature is, and I need to look into this. They're weird. Like, we're one of the only legislatures that the whole body votes on local legislation, and it's kind of funky because if you're in Greene County, why do you care what's happening in Shelby County? I mean, you do, but you don't. So maybe that's why. But I have a feeling there's something else up here as to why they all voted pass. And you have some legislators, I almost respect the ones that just voted yes.
Way more.
Even though I disagree, way more than the ones that are abstaining or passing. Like you ran to have this seat. You ran to have this position. You asked the voters to represent, for you to represent them. And then you go up there and you pass and abstain on something like this. Because the reality is once this gets passed, it's just a waterfall trickle effect and it just keeps flowing. So it's going to the House. I don't know what the House will do with it, but I do think it's something to pay attention to. I need to read more into the details of it. And
hey, if you're any of those Republicans and you'd like to come and defend yourself and explain yourself,
thank you.
Doors wide open.
That is 100% true.
Always.
And maybe we're missing something.
Right. That's exactly. Yeah. Maybe we're missing something. But on the outside, this is what we think. But hey, come explain yourself if you need to.
Agree. I think we're way over time.
That's twice.
Okay, I get
sorry,
it, JP.
Sorry,
we'll go to break. Fine. We'll be back.
In this administration, you don't have to check your faith at the door when you practice medicine or you want to care for patients. I say this because one of the things that the president is pushing and Secretary Kennedy is very strong on is conscience protections. In other words, if you're a physician or you're a nurse or you're a pharmacist or you're a healthcare provider and you say, you know what, this goes against my deeply held faith, my deeply held convictions, under the last administration or under Democrats, you'd be persecuted.
Yes.
You'd be disparaged, right? Not under this administration. So the conscience protections are there. If I was still practicing, I wouldn't have to worry that I was going to be attacked by the left because I didn't want to take part in some procedure that was against my conviction. So conscience protections are very important, but they're really being pushed and really being strengthened by this president and by Secretary Kennedy and all of us at HHS.
Well, the left does not check their religion at the door. So,
no, that's right.
No, their whatever progressive woke agenda does not get checked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we like to do something a little different. We call it the lightning round or
Okay.
your exit questions.
Okay.
These are like, just be Brian Christine.
I will be Brian
Just
Christine. I can't do
take
I
off your
can't do anything
Admiral
else.
hat. These are just kind of to get to know you
Okay.
as a person. So, what was your very first job?
My very first job, I worked at a Baskin Robbins when I was in high school. And I think it was a terrible decision for the individual employed me because I probably spent more time in the freezer eating ice cream than I actually did. No, I didn't really. But I worked at a Baskin Robbins. That was the first job. I did do some work at
Remember Baskin Robbins.
living in Augusta. There's a military base close by, Fort Gordon. And I worked at the commissary there, which was like the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I bagged groceries. And I did that during the summers. And that wasn't, got tips. And so there was that. But the first job that where I actually got paid and all that kind of stuff was at Baskin Robbins.
Favorite,
That's old school.
that's straight up old school.
Yeah.
Favorite flavor?
Oh, favorite flavor, pralines and cream.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's so southern. Wow.
What is that?
I was-
I
I
can't
was in-
believe
I
you
was
didn't
in
say
Augusta,
pralines.
Georgia.
Yeah, pralines.
Well, you know, I am an Army brat, so we've moved around a
Yeah.
fair bit. But yeah, but it was that was a lot of fun because I ate my way through a lot of ice cream.
And we say bravo. You know,
They're putting in another, like, I haven't seen Baskin Robbins in forever, and I swear I drove by somewhere and they're putting
I
one
think
in.
they are. I think
I
I know
thought
what
they
you're
were
talking
bankrupt.
about.
And just in case Secretary Kennedy is going to watch this podcast, I have reformed my ways, boss. I know
in the
that
past.
I know that pralines and cream is not very maha, but you know what? A little
No,
bit of
no,
sweet
back
now and
then-
again is okay.
No,
This
back
is
then
way
I
back
bet
when.
it was made with like no fake anything. I bet it
Milk,
was legit
sugar.
in the like 80s or 90s.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was tasty.
Yeah, no,
I-
I'm pretty sure. Just maybe don't go work at the new one.
Biggest pet peeve.
Biggest pet peeve I have, I think, is that people will complain but not stand up for what's right. In other words, how many times have I seen, for instance, physicians who complain so much about the government and so much about what's going on in healthcare, but if you ask them to get out and support candidates who support, literally go to rallies or to give donations, because you have to be able to fund campaigns, they won't do anything.
Yes.
That I've seen that with physicians. Now, lawyers, I believe, are 100% the opposite way. They will get engaged and get involved. But there are so many physicians who will complain and won't do anything to help the situation. That is a peeve of mine.
I think that's probably, we could go in that category.
Well, I'm sure you've seen that
yeah.
as well.
Absolutely. It's really hard to get people convinced that what you do matters. But you're right. Complaining without action you're just yapping in the wind.
You know what? Give
we need more
donations
than
if
that.
you can. Knock doors. You've all done that. We've
Yep.
all done that.
Yep.
Go out there, put signs up, right? Do what you can do. If you really believe that things are a problem, then get out there and do something about it.
That's right.
It's kind of like teachers who, teachers are like the same. They're scared to put themselves out there and do anything to make changes. You're like, if we all got together, we could actually do something. I don't know. Is it my turn? Or
It's your turn.
Okay.
It's your turn.
What's one new skill you would like to master because you have so much free time?
One new skill I would
Like
like
a
to
hobby
master.
or something you want to learn.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I know this is lightning round, but I'm thinking about that. I would say one thing I do wanted to get better at is because one of the reasons I wanted to be the Assistant Secretary for Health was that because, number one, because with Levine and the last time, I knew there were so many wrongs we had to right. And so that drew me, but also because the role of the assistant secretary, we talked about this, part of the role being communication and being out there, being out front, communicating things to the American people. I want to get better at that. I'd like to sharpen my skills on that. I think because I've had to communicate with people as patients for so long, I think I do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But this is a new kind of thing when you're doing interviews or you're doing extemporaneous things. I'd like to get my skill set better so that I can better message for the president and for Secretary Kennedy.
I think you're a good communicator.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. We can always do things better, but
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're thoughtful and well spoken.
Hello. Welcome back. I'm Amy Beth. She's Allison. He's JP. And someday when we're not guarded by the FCC, we're going to tell you what Allison and I were going to name our future pack. Because we can say it now.
You can say that word now.
You can?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do it next week.
Okay,
Because our friends are going to meet
Gotta-
us at 10 a.m. on Monday, live stream.
To find
And then
out.
we'll they're going to find out. That's what's going to happen. JP, what's your story, sir, before we head to 4:30 and do the plunge?
Do y'all know that Hillary Clinton testified today before, had a deposition on Epstein in front of the House today?
Oh, I'm sure she told the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Here's what happened.
What?
Oh, just wait. So
Wait, let us guess.
you're not going to guess it, but okay.
Here's what happened.
What happened was
The power went out and there was a flood and they had to cancel it.
No.
Okay.
she fell down. No. I know what happened.
What?
She cried.
No.
Oh.
God, my lips look so red on camera. Sorry.
Why'd you put
Anyways,
lipstick on?
It's a cupcake.
Weirdo.
It's a cupcake for everyone.
Whatever.
Anyways, she stormed out of the deposition. But here's why she stormed out of the deposition. So it technically was paused. The deposition was paused because Lauren Boebert leaked a picture of Hillary Clinton testifying and gave it to Benny Johnson. And Benny Johnson posted the picture, and then it apparently broke House rules. And so Hillary Clinton got out today of the deposition because of that.
Lauren, that was dumb. That was a really bad choice, Lauren Boebert.
So she also said earlier in the deposition that she does not recall ever interacting with Jeffrey Epstein. So she said that too, but that soundbite was really the only bit that came of it until Boebert took a picture, sent to Benny, Benny posted, and then the deposition got cut off because it broke rules.
Now, is she still sticking to her story after that picture of Epstein with some other luminaries showed up? Like with her husband, Bill, and Epstein and Bill Gates? Like, what about that?
I don't know. I don't even know if they got to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's the thing. Lauren is not stupid. She knows the rules. Why would she do that?
I don't know. And Benny Johnson is making a meme of it, of course, that like he pissed off Hillary Clinton so much that she stormed out of the deposition. It's like
That's not what happened,
technically
Benny.
It's not very cool.
broke the rule.
Yeah.
But why? Why? Like, if you go and here, I'm just gonna put up the image real quick as we go to break. And so the post is pretty much saying how, hold on, 1 sec, it's coming up, that Hillary Clinton looked unhappy and scared in the deposition. The tweet Benny put up said, the first image of Hillary Clinton testifying under oath about Jeffrey Epstein to the Republican Oversight Committee. This is the first time Hillary has had to answer real questions about Epstein, and she does not look too happy. Photo provided by Rep. Lauren Boebert.
Oh my gosh. What dingle dips.
So she got out of it.
That's when you're so antsy to get the clicks and get the attention, and then you just screw it up.
Woman ruin everything.
My goodness. I think we need to go shame her. Shame. Huh. All right. What are we going to do on the other side?
The plunge.
The plunge.
Okay, fine. We'll be back.
JP here with Rightside. I need to remind you that Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. We know this audience, and you're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles and being good stewards of your resources. What if the companies you're invested in don't reflect your values at all? That's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, they are experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. They can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors, you got to go check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Not like robotic.
Yeah.
You know, you talk to a lot of politicians and it's like you feel like you're just getting like a bunch of talking points that they've said a million times. I don't get that with you at all.
Not at all.
Good.
Not at all.
Don't turn into that.
No.
3 more quick questions. 1, what was your nickname growing up?
My nickname, that's interesting. Sammy was my nickname.
Okay.
So my name is Brian Sam Christine. Now, you wouldn't know this by looking at my last name, Christini, but I'm Italian-American. My grandfather, my dad's father, was Biagio Christini, Christini, right? My father's,
Great name.
I know, my father's sister, my Aunt Helen, who has passed, her name was Helen Christini, Christini, on her birth certificate. My dad was Alexander Christine, Christine. And so, who knows? My dad could never explain how that change occurred. Who knows? But my middle name is Sam, named after my father's uncle, Sam, who passed away. But my nickname was Sammy, and so part of the reason it was Sammy is because there was Sam. But do you remember? Remember the movie Disney Sammy the Way Out Seal? I guess you don't. I guess I'm showing my age. It was a seal, yes. And so, like, I love that movie, and so people call me Sammy.
The Way Out.
Seal.
I bet.
Seal, as in like, not as in like.
Yeah. What, did he like live way out there, or
Well,
was he like?
It was a cool. It
Now we're
was
gonna have
funny.
to find
Typical.
it.
You know, back when Disney actually made movies that
Yes.
you'd want to take your kids to, right?
Yeah.
So Sammy was my nickname.
Okay, this was my question. You don't have to answer it.
Sure.
But what's RFK Jr. really like? Is he like what you see on TV?
He is. This is going to sound like I'm slinging a line, but he's amazing. When I got so my process was I wanted to serve in the administration, wanted to serve at HHS, and I really was liking the idea. I wanted to serve as the Assistant Secretary for Health. So I knew someone who was in the transition team. I sent my CV, and they said, we've showed it around to people, put a formal application in with the transition team. I did that. Had a couple of phone interviews, and then last year I got the word. They said, listen, we want you to come interview with Mr. Kennedy. And so I went down and I interviewed with RFK. And in the room also was Jim O'Neill, the now the deputy secretary. They were there interviewing me. So I step into the room, and I step into the room with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It was, number one, it was almost kind of surreal that here I am, the little guy from Alabama who's talking to RFK Jr. He is like you see him. He's a very kind man. He's an incredibly thoughtful man. I'm going to say he's a humble man in that he's not afraid to say, in my life, I've made mistakes. I've had substance abuse issues. He's not afraid to admit mistakes. He's not afraid to admit wrongs, but he's not afraid to stand for what he believes. He's a really kind man. He's a really thoughtful man. So that, again, I believe he's like, to me, and when I've seen him with his wife, when I've seen him interacting with us, it's amazing. So let me give you a story, recent story. I told you that I'm the head of the Commission Corps, the Public Health Service officers. About 2 weeks ago, I got alerted from one of my admirals that one of our Commission Corps officers had done something really amazing. A lot of our officers are deployed to the Indian Health Service that takes care of health care on the Indian reservations for Native Americans and Alaskan Natives. Okay, we staff a lot of the Indian Health Service. There was one of our therapists, one of our mental health workers, who was out in Pine Ridge, which is in one of the Dakotas, but IHS, and was going to a high school, the local high school, and was supposed to meet with students who were having mental health concerns and wanted to talk. And only one student showed up. And so the administrator at the school said, you know what, to my officer, you know what?
Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth with Allison and JP. So it's time for the plunge. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Why are we now the right side?
Why are we now the right side?
Is it because we've got some announcement partnership thing, cool thing going on?
I didn't know we were doing that again.
Perhaps, JP.
But, okay.
Yes.
Which, by the way, can we make merch that says L right side? That'd be sick. Like L, the right side, L right side.
I think side L right side O.
L right.
We could do that. Also, I have other ideas.
So
heifer.
Yeah,
that's another one.
Yeah, heifer would be great on just a cool hack. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, JP.
Hatchet Man.
Go ahead.
Don't sit. That's like Voldemort.
Like Rocket Man.
Yeah,
But
just like Rocket Man.
If you missed it, what we're talking about is Rightside Media, aka us, has now partnered with Yellowhammer News. We will be streaming our show on their platform starting Monday. Unfortunately, if you're listening on VNN, tomorrow will be our last show on WVNN, but nothing will change on our end in terms of streaming on our platforms. All that's changing is Yellowhammer's platforms, aka their social media, their website, etc. Will just be replacing WVNN starting Monday, and the show will be from 2 to 5, going to 10 to 12 a.m. So instead of 2 to 5 p.m., 10 to 12 a.m. starting Monday as well. Straight digital, Rightside Media, Yellowhammer. And it's no longer Rightside Radio as of Monday. It is the right side.
It is the right side because that's where you are.
It's like when people say
you are on the right side.
The Ohio State University is the right side.
Yes. And my cousin did go to the Ohio State University, and she is a legit Buckeye. I think the right side is.
Look, it makes a difference because you're either going to the club or the club.
We all
and those are two very different places.
Guys, we should have made it the right side. DA right side.
Duh. It's not too late.
The right side.
Yeah, there we go. I love it.
So that's what that was the announcement. Starting Monday. Y'all stay tuned.
Okay, so quickly we are going to play the clip for you that we played in the montage at the top of the show. And this has to do with hypocrisy from, well, baking a wedding cake. JP?
Well, first, what are we doing?
What are we doing, JP?
The plunge?
We're doing the plunge. Hey, guys, and if you see 280 Living, if you happen to be in our area, my husband's in 280 Living. Talking about cancer. Anyway, JP.
Well, explain why that plunge.
It matters because he's a gastroenterologist.
Yes,
and he's about to
colon cancer. And
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
It's
I was just thinking about saying he's eventually going to sponsor the segment when I get my life together and get him the information he's asked for. It's fine.
Abs today, dead puppies, cancer, all yeah.
I'm going to take myself out now. Are y'all still my friends?
I think so.
Are you still my friend?
Yeah, Yellowhammer may be rethinking this, but that's all.
It's okay.
It's been quite the show.
It's been a banger.
Anyway, play this clip because I had not seen it, and apparently we can't bake. Well, yeah, play the clip.
And if we went into a Muslim bakery and asked for a gay wedding cake, no need to wonder, we did it for you. What's really important is getting the picture and the writing. So it's going to be me and Benny. Well, you have pictures there.
No, on the machine, you have in the Kroger.
In Kroger?
Yeah.
Like the grocery store?
No.
Where you would tell me to go somewhere across the street. Just across the street. And I want to say Ben and Stephen Forever on the top. And then on the bottom, it'll say, same-sex, legal now, congratulations. But everyone keeps sending me somewhere else. They said, this is what you do here.
No, I don't want it.
It just seems weird that you would send me to Oh, I don't, okay, well, let's even say no picture, but you can write on it, Ben loves Stephen forever, and have our hands maybe holding.
No.
But we want at least the writing, you know. So, you know, groom and groom.
Yeah.
There's two grooms.
Wedding?
Yeah, a wedding.
What is the wedding?
Wedding is for two people getting married.
So you remember when the Christian bakers who did not want to bake a cake for a gay couple getting married went through the ringer because they didn't want to do that. And then Steven Crowder went and posed the same question to bakeries that are of the Muslim persuasion in Dearborn, Michigan. And every single time they said no. Where is the outrage?
Could he file a lawsuit?
I bet he could.
Because that one went all the way to the Supreme Court.
It did.
And maybe he should.
Well, so the part of the reason we're talking about it, we discussed yesterday about how Christians do not have the same fervor, and like in Islam, it is their way or the highway because they think their religion is the one and true religion. Christians, for the most part, are, well, yeah, it is the one true religion, but we need to love each other. We need to be welcoming. We need to, whatever. It's not very nice to decline to make a cake for, a gay couple that goes against our beliefs. Whereas in Islam, they do that, but they also get away with that. I think that, is the point of the video. What?
I know. I was going to go past it.
Did I say something wrong? Did I misspeak? What did I say? Tell me.
You said doo-doo.
What? Oh, doo-doo. Okay. Sorry. Anyway.
We're in the plunge, and it just made me giggle.
Well, anyway, so that's the point, is that...
Sorry. See?
Abs knows me so well.
Only one.
She knows me so well. Okay, keep going.
Anyways, the whole point is that Christians need to have the same... We are off the rails.
I think I'm 10. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, JP. We're trying to save the world for Christ, and I just ruined it. Keep going. I'm gonna look down.
I think I've lost my train of thought.
No, you haven't. No, go, JP. We are not. We do not have the same fervor. We are so willing to let the cookie crumble. We're just like, this is reminiscent of when we tried to film that ad.
They are.
I'm so sorry.
This is so unprofessional.
They are crying.
Okay, you're right, JP.
Yes.
Keep talking. Pretend that we do not exist.
That was it.
But you're right. And you're absolutely right. And we back down every time. It's why in the 3:00 hour, we talked about not knowing how to fight because we just like, okay.
What happened?
All or nothing. In the last hour, we're talking about all or nothing. We don't know how to fight. We don't know how to do battle. And then these men and women in Dearborn, Michigan show us, here's what you do. No. Go across the street to the other. No, we don't want it. Where is the outrage? It is selective, of course.
And at first he said, we don't do the pictures, which, okay. Then nothing. And there was no way they were going to get what they wanted. So what does he do with that now? Was that the end of the experiment?
End of the experiment. Crazy.
See, why don't we take it to the Supreme Court?
No, because Dearborn, Michigan wouldn't dare. Nobody in Dearborn would dare.
Well, see how it is. It actually brings up, we've got to go to a break in a minute, but something we've talked to some of our friends about, and it's an interesting development. The last time I was at a Republican women's luncheon, there was a very Muslim woman there who was there for the lunch and was participating and listening to candidates and sat through the whole thing and was speaking to candidates afterwards. And I just thought, I've never seen that before, but it made me go, how do we handle this one?
Yeah. Well,
Because legally, I mean, there's nothing, you can't not let him attend the Republican Party or the Republican Women's Luncheon. I don't think you'll win in a court of law. So what do you do? Because that is, and it's Allie from Athens that talks about how they have the Mecca strategy, which is the sappy sweet. We want to be part of you. We want to, get to know you. We want to be part of the community. And then it goes to the Medina strategy, which is, and basically it goes back to when Muhammad tried to win over people peacefully when he was in Mecca. That didn't work. So he had to start conquering and taking out, and his conquest. That's where the violence started with the Medina strategy when they moved there. And that's when all the converts started over in the Middle East to following the Islam faith. So there are two strategies that happen, and you watch this and it's like, they are super. I mean, we have friends that are Muslim, so kind.
Absolutely.
So kind. They have stayed at my home. They have stayed at our lake house. We have vacation with them. And maybe they are the peaceful type, but how do you know? And how do you protect yourself in a society that, in this case, the law is not on your, you can't not allow them to participate. So what do you do?
That's the question. We probably need to dig in and figure it out. And I would love to hear from Allie. I think, in my off the cuff spitballing here, engage, minister to, but probably based on the information that other Islamists are putting out across the country and their desire to get into politics, run for office, win office, and they're laying out all their victories, combined with other things going around across the world, leadership is not going to be an option. Because if your holy book tells you that you're allowed to lie, how can we believe a word out of your mouth? I don't know.
It's quite the conundrum.
It is that's a good word. It's a conundrum.
It's a conundrum.
We can love, but part of being the word love, part of love is truth. And that's going to make people very uncomfortable. But we have to deal with it because guess what? They're already dealing with us.
It's a good word. I will say it's been interesting. Our friends, the couple, it's a business friendship. They don't live in Alabama, so it's a little different, but they are very interested in Christianity, have asked a lot of questions, and I think God is moving in their lives. So I love that you said, number one, you minister, you speak truth. And there's a way to have a friendship and relationship there. That is very different from what we're seeing happening in Dearborn, Michigan, New York City, and a lot of these places they are clearly taking over and conquering.
That's right.
So
that's exactly right.
But we're not immune, even here in Shelby County or Alabama. And it's something for us to be talking about. JP?
Yes.
I had fun with the have you ever rolled a yard question yesterday.
Okay, we'll find
I learned some things about you. Abs, your mom is super cool if she drives you around to go rolling.
She did.
I did have someone texted us and said it was about if we roll the governor's mansion.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to do that.
We were joking.
That was a
Maybe.
joke. Allegedly, we said that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. Maybe the State House, though.
That'd be fun.
We'll be back.
Go home. And this is Lieutenant Fellows. Go home, Lieutenant Fellows. There's only one person here. And she said, no, I'm here to take care of the kids. So start talking to this 14-year-old young girl. The 14-year-old young girl related a history of trauma and abuse, suicidal ideation. Lieutenant Fellows, I'm so proud of her. She stayed with that child. She made sure that the school teachers and all stayed with that child while she got arrangements made to transport that child to a hospital. The child was evaluated, was admitted because of ideation. As they're taking the child into the hospital, in her bag, she had a suicide note written that day, dated that afternoon. She had a noose that she had made. And she said, had it not been for Lieutenant Fellows, I would have committed suicide that day. So I got this word and I was like, this is an example of why my officers are so important. And so I related that to Secretary Kennedy's chief of staff. And I said, hey, I'm going to call, just to let you know, I'm going to call Officer Fellows later on this particular Friday. I'm going to call to say personally congratulations, because she works normally at the FDA, office in Salt Lake City, but she was deployed out to IHS, to Indian Health Service. Okay. Anywho, I said, I'm going to make a call to congratulate her. So what happens? I get word, Secretary Kennedy wants to make the call with you.
Oh, wow.
So we get on the call. It's a video call. There's my officer. So proud of her. There's my officer. And there's not only the Assistant Secretary for Health, because she was blown away by that, because the prior Assistant Secretary didn't really give a darn about his officers. He wouldn't do things like this. There's the Assistant Secretary speaking to her, and there's Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Wow.
His words to her were so meaningful. He didn't have to do that. He did that because he saw someone who went above, who saved a life. That's the kind of man he is. When he sees people doing good, he wants to recognize that. And I think he understands the power of someone at his position and his name recognition, telling this officer, you've done so well. Well done. You were a good and faithful servant. That's the kind of guy he is.
He seems very human.
He is very human.
And that's
I think he is. He's
endearing
realistic. I mean, he's real. So here's another little story. And I told this at an interview recently. My final interview for the process was at something called the Presidential Personnel Office, PPO. So I interviewed at the White House, not with President Trump, but with his staff office. After having gone through multiple interviews, interviewed with Secretary Kennedy and such, I had that interview at the White House. And after the interview, I was escorted out, and they said, listen, they said that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wants you in the position. The final decision will be made by President Trump. And I wanted to go pray. So from the White House, I walked to the Cathedral of St. Matthew, which is the cathedral for the Archdiocese of New York. Every diocese or every region has its cathedral. In this case, the Cathedral of St. Matthew. I'd never been there before. So I walked down the central aisle because I wanted to kneel in front of the high altar to pray. And at the end of the aisle is a disc in the floor. And the disc says, this is where the body of President John F. Kennedy laid in state, on this spot. And so I thought, I want to go work with a man whose father and whose uncle were politics. If you don't like the politics of John F. Kennedy or Senator Bobby Kennedy, forget it. They literally were willing to die for this country. I know that RFK would die for this country. I know that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would shed blood for this country. And so, at that moment, I just hit my knees and I said, God, let me work with this man. And here I am. But that's what he inspires in people. And it's not just me saying this. You talk to anybody at HHS, any of us who've been, put into position there. He inspires us every day. He's amazing.
Wow.
Which is exactly what you have done for us. You inspire us too, and you make Alabama proud. But it seems that we are in very good hands.
Well, that's kind of you to say. I appreciate
Welcome back to Right Side. I am Amy Beth with Allison and JP. And we closing out the show. We are closing out the show. I needed that little verb. We are closing out the show.
By the way, for those watching on the stream, I don't know what just happened, but we're back. So cool.
Cool. So, what do you have for us today, JP?
Okay, well, we're gonna go the would you rather route.
Okay. I like that.
These, though, the title is 17 would you rather questions that go deep.
Ooh. Okay.
So,
Yikes.
okay. Would you rather, okay, this is a good question. Would you rather wake up at Freaky Friday or Groundhog Day? Y'all know Freaky Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
So it says not literally where you'd rather be Lindsay Lohan or Jamie Lee Curtis, but when it comes down to it, you get a sense of how someone else deals with change when posing. So yeah.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Freaky Friday.
I'd lose my mind if I were in Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Would you rather time travel to the past or the future?
Ooh. Can you change it there? Can you change the past?
Ooh.
Okay, it says this. It says some people want to alter history, some want to see themselves in the future. So I guess you can't alter history if you're in this scenario. I'm gonna go past.
Yeah, I think I will too.
I'm going past.
If
I
you
don't
can
want to know
change
when
it.
I die.
'Cause-
I don't
Well,
want to
you
know
don't
that
have
part.
to know when you die. You could know what you have for dinner tomorrow night. Like
well,
you could
I'm
go
saying,
that far.
Like, how far in the future would you go, though? Because if I go that far in the future, then maybe I'll see when I'm going to die, and I don't want to know.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Well-
If you go in the future, then you know too much, and then you live the present differently. Whereas if you go in the past, mine would be totally unrelated to me, though. I'd be going in the past to see history stuff. Okay, so but there's that. I wouldn't interact at all. I'd just, I don't know, sit in the back, but no, I wouldn't go in the future.
Do you have to stay there?
No. Like you can
Oh,
go
you
and
come back.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. It's a good one.
Here's a fun load. We got like 30 seconds, but this is a fun rabbit trail. Do you think time travel is a possible? And if it is possible, do you think we've already achieved it? I know my answer. I've thought about this a lot, actually.
And the Roman Empire?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no and no.
With her.
No. Because once you make time not linear, then time's never linear to begin with.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's deep. Yeah.
When people talk about it, it's like time would never be linear because whenever somebody achieves that, then instead of time being a straight line, it's just like a spaghetti soup noodle, whatever. And so it would never be linear to begin with. But it is fun to think about, though.
So Charlie Kirk isn't a time traveler?
I hate to burst your bubble, but no.
And neither is Candace?
No. Although Candace can astral project, so there's that. Okay, here's one last one. Would you rather always tell the truth or always be able to tell when someone's lying?
Always be able to tell when someone's lying.
Yeah. Wait. I mean,
both?
Shouldn't you tell the truth all the time?
Yeah, but it's like if somebody gives you food and it's bad, you have to tell them it's bad.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's like those lies.
Yeah. Those
Oh,
are,
your baby is so cute.
yeah.
Well,
So are those lies okay?
I think so.
Righteous deception.
Yeah. Like it would do more harm to tell them the truth than to just.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's a deep question for another day.
Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Last day, best day. We'll be back. We'll see y'all then.